It was a long day of baseball yesterday at the Trop. Game 1 went Tampa Bay's way as Mr. Ray Evan Longoria delivered with a clutch walk-off base hit in the 10th. The youth of the Athletics shined in Game 2 as the future ace Sean Manaea and the long ball helped the A's split the doubleheader. Today, the A's look to even the series before they make their way south and continue this Florida road trip. It's the A's and the Rays next. Well, after 7 hours and 2 minutes of baseball yesterday, we're ready for more today. It's the fourth and final game of the series. Jacob Brugman, a big day yesterday. He's in the lineup again today, and Jesse Hahn will get the start for the Athletics. So it's the Oakland A's and the Tampa Bay Rays coming up on NBC Sports California. It's presented by Black Bear Diner. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. You saw Jacob Brugman. He's going to be in the leadoff spot today playing left field. And what a day for him. Yeah. Obviously, he got his first major league hit, but played both games of the doubleheader. And really, Ray, when you look at it, he had some really good at-bats yesterday.
Some great at-bats. If you go back to Friday when he did not get a hit in his first major league game, but yesterday afternoon, first major league hit against Ramirez, a base hit to center field. Of course, everybody very excited. The old throw the ball on the stand. Stephen Vogt put it in his pocket. They authenticated it, but a great opportunity for him, especially against a guy that throws 98 to 99. He bunted, kind of a safety squeeze. Ended up getting not only a hit, but his first major league RBI. His family very ecstatic as they showed after this, but a great job by the young man. Not only enjoying the family at the park, but making an outstanding play in left field. And I thought what Yonder Alonso said, he said, this kid's a 5-tool player. Not only can he hit great at bats, but he can play some defense. He saved at least a couple of runs there. Sean Manaea very appreciative of it as he picked up his 5th consecutive victory, but Brugman had an outstanding game.
All right, pitching match today, Chris Archer and Jesse Hahn. And for Jesse Hahn, his second start back from the disabled list. And with Chris Archer, one of the best sliders in baseball.
And for Jesse, his original club, Tommy John surgery here, but he's facing them. He's pitching great. He's feeling great. Went on the disabled list with really not much of an injury, but he has coming back for his second start since the DL. Chris Archer has the slider that everybody needs to lay off. We'll see what he does against the lefties, but from the righty standpoint, they're going to see a steady diet of sliders and pretty good fastballs from a very good right-handed pitcher.
All right, so Jesse Hahn and the A's need to get a win to try to get a split in this 4-game series against the Rays. Now, stick around. Up next, we'll go back to the guys in the A's pregame live studios, and then get you all set. We'll line up some first pitch for Game 4 of the series.
Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. By Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. And by Jack in the Box. Come try the new sweet or spicy barbecue bacon cheeseburger and chicken sandwich. Limited time only.
So Chris Archer is going to get the start today for the Tampa Bay Rays. He's pretty good, so that'll be the challenge for the Athletics today if they want to get a split in this 4-game series here in St. Petersburg. Game time weather for today presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is open daily. We are obviously indoors, outside, as usual here in St. Pete. It's warm and it's humid. That's just kind of the way it is, but we've also been here when the temperature's higher than 85. So let's look at the starting lineup for the Athletics for today, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Jacob Brugman, who had the big day yesterday, he's going to be the leadoff hitter. He'll be in left field. Then Pinder's at short, Lowry's at second, Davis will DH. Alonso at first, Healy gets the start at third, Vogt will catch, Joyce is in right, and Rajai Davis is in center.
Right-hander Chris Archer did not face the A's last year. This year, he's faced them for the first time. Basically 2 pitches, fastball, slider that he throws very well with those 2 pitches, and A's know that they have a tough road today as they try to split the series, and something they would love to do considering their problems on the road so far in 2017.
So Brugman steps in and we're set for baseball. So the doubleheader is in the books. And just a good old normal 9-inning game today.
And if he nails that part of the plate on the corner, that's a good fastball. And again, 4-seam and the slider, occasional change, but he is basically a rare back throw hard, and the right hand's a little bit different than lefties.
1-1 the count to Brugman. Brugman 4 for 11 so far. He was 0 for 4 on Friday night and then bounced back with the 4 for 7 performance in the doubleheader. Pinder will hit next, and then Lowry. There's the breakdown. Lots and lots of sliders for Chris Archer. It's a terrific pitch. He strikes out a lot of guys.
And you just saw 1 of 7 changeups he's going to throw today.
%.
That's about it.
See a whole lot more.
Yeah.
Count.
You challenge at 94 with a 4-seam fastball. It's pretty impressive, but Stephen Vogt a couple of nights ago got a fastball. Of course, a very good lead for the Rays, but 2-1. You have to gear up a little bit extra if you're going to catch up to a mid-90s fastball. If you think it's going to come, let it go. Stephen Vogt knows how to hit and try to do it again today.
2-2 pitch. And there's the slider. Brugman strikes out, and that's the first out of the ball game. The Rays defense looks like this today. Rasmussen left, Smith in center, Souza in right, Longoria, Beckham on the left side, Robertson, Morrison on the right side. Derek Norris is your catcher. So 1 away for Chad Pinder. First pitch to Pinder is a bit outside. The umpires today, that's Corey Blazer calling balls and strikes. That's Jeff Nelson. He's the crew chief. He's at first. Diaz at second. Eddings is at third. Fastball runs inside. So 2-0 the count to Pinder. Pinder is 4 for 14 in the series. He's got a home run. He has struck out 6 times. Swing and a miss. There's the good velocity from Archer. Well, today any 95-mile-per-hour fastball is our fast pitch, brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest Wi-Fi at home and on the go. Jesse Hahn he'll pump a few 95-mile-per-hour pitches in there today, and so will Archer. 96 that time from Archer. 2-2 the count.
It's kind of Archer trying to establish the fastball, which he has a good one. The one slider, it's a very tight slider, almost looks like a cut fastball, the one that Brugman struck out on. So with that strikeout, he donates $25 and the Rays match every $25 for some local charity that he is involved in, and raising food or getting food for people who aren't so well off. But Chad Pinder yesterday down the right field line. This is off Stanek, the hard-throwing right-hander, and throw 97-98. Take it with it. Let him provide the power. Chad Pinder did it. 8 home runs for the young man.
3-2 to Pinder. This one is popped up toward right field where Souza is there. Now he trots in a little bit. He's got it for the second out.
Time now for the Nissan keys to the game. First for the Athletics. Their troubles on the road, but if they win today, they'll get a split of this 4-game series after winning the nightcap yesterday. And for Bob Melvin, that man is not a kid. Jed Lowry's a veteran, but today 3 more of the youngsters in the lineup with Brugman. Healy's also playing at third base, and we just saw Chad Pinder. So the kids are playing well, and I think we might see a little bit more of that as this season progresses through this month of June and July.
Here's Lowry. First pitch, swing and a miss on a high fastball. Lowry at 295 with 7 home runs, 21 runs batted in.
Jed got the second game off yesterday. He was very happy. He said they can say what they want about the new turf. It's still asphalt underneath and it's very hard. He said it's hard on the body, and of course with so few position players, the skipper had to play guys both games. Got through it though with a big win in the nightcap. Shockingly, a straight up defense, but there's a hitter, Jed Lowry, who uses the whole field, a doubles machine, and that's the reason the defense seems to play him straight up as they are.
Swinging and a miss with a fastball at 97. So 1-2.
A fastball that's up in the zone, and at 97, it's got to seem like it's much faster. But maybe as this game progresses, hopefully sooner than later, the hitters will gear up a little bit more for the fastball.
Foul back. Pitchcast is brought to you by Penn Fed Credit Union. So a lot of fastballs from Archer in the first inning.
Only seen just the one slider and one changeup, the rest fastballs.
Well, there will come a time in this game where he'll start throwing that slider more. And there it is. No swing.
Yeah, Archer assumed he was going to get the strikeout. Check swing, but Jed held up. Doug Eddings making the call at third base as immediately Derek Norris points to third. That is not a swing.
So the count even at 2-2. Fastball foul out. Chris Archer is second in the American League in strikeouts. Behind Chris Sale, he's third in the American League in innings pitched. So he's a workhorse. Good young pitcher. Well, not that young anymore. He's 28.
But he's under control contract-wise. That's why he's a pitcher that a lot of clubs would like to have.
Right field hit pretty well. Souza going back. Souza near the wall. Souza leaps and he caught it right in front of the wall, and that's how the top of the first comes to an end. So bottom of the first, when we come back, no score. race for today. It's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. And here it is. Malik Smith's had a good series. He'll lead off in center field. Corey Dickerson is the DH. Evan Longoria, the hero from Game 1 yesterday. Logan Morrison is the cleanup hitter. Souza hits 5th. Rasmus 6th. Beckham 7th. Norris 8th. Robertson 9th.
Jesse Hahn making the start with the pant legs all the way down, not up to the top. Of course, he started when he went relief, but he is making the start second since returning from the DL. For Jesse, he made just the one relief appearance in Arlington, Texas, following Alcantara. So 2 good fastball pitchers. That had a slight movement going away from the left-hander.
Jesse Hahn looking for his 3rd win of the year. He's pitched well this year. Could easily have a couple more wins. Facing Malik Smith. Smith at 324. He's 5 for 11 in this series. On Thursday, the A's arrived Wednesday night, but Thursday Kevin Kiermaier gets hurt. And from an A's standpoint, you're thinking, well, you hate to see a guy get hurt. Probably helps you out a little bit because Kiermaier's a very good player, but what Malik Smith has done in this series, I don't know that Kiermaier could have been any better.
That's right.
That one down the left field line, hustling over his Brugman, and it'll be foul.
Well, when you're comparing speed-wise to Carl Crawford, he was long-time favorite here, especially with everything CC could do, whether play defense or with the bat, stolen bases, and they're comparing Smith to him, and that's a pretty good comparison.
So 2-2 to Malik Smith. Quick look at the A's defense. Brugman, Davis, and Joyce in the outfield. Healy, Pinder, Lowry, Alonso on the infield, and Stephen Vogt is behind the dish. Well, Malik Smith got 2 hits off Sean Manaea. Lefty on lefty, so that says a lot about the series that Smith has had. 3-2 now. And he takes a very close pitch, just a touch low.
Well, that's an amazing thing to take the close pitch, not swing at it, thinking it's too close to take, and gets the call from Corey Blazer. Not a bad pitch, exactly where Jesse would like to throw it. And yet he took it and got the call.
I always felt like, and that's a close pitch, but if a pitcher makes that good of a pitch, I think he should be removed.
I agree.
Now a hitter's going to say, well, I don't agree with you, but my point is he caught the corner just barely. It's a great pitch for a pitcher.
And he's going to be graded positively either way. He's not going to get a negative because he didn't call it a strike, and he would get a positive. I mean, it's a win-win for the umpire, but they talk about the pace of game, speeding up the game. It's going to require a lot of throws to first base because he's on, but the umpires can control everything when it comes to the game by the way they call strikes or not.
So here's Dickerson, 1-0 the count. Dickerson at 327 with 14 home runs, 29 runs batted in. Dickerson is 1 for 9 in the series. That one hit, a home run. Missed again. Now it's 2-0.
Now, Smith is a threat to steal, but I think in this case with Dickerson hitting second, he'd been hitting leadoff. Of course, a pretty powerful man to hit leadoff, but hitting second got the hole on the right side, and we saw it and have seen it in this series. Does Smith even think about running, especially with nobody out?
Not running. Missed again, and it's 3-0.
Zach Neal straightaway center. He was shocked that he got under this pitch, but your home run hitter, you find a way to get under a fastball that's sinking. And straightaway center field. Big home run. 2 of them off Zach Neal.
In this series, the Rays have scored 21 runs. They've banged out 32 hits, 6 home runs. They've also stole 5 bases. 3-0 pitches in first strike.
Jesse Hahn's fastball is moving so much out of the strike zone. Got a first pitch of the game was a strike to Smith, and tough throwing strikes, but that's the upper part. See the movement? And sometimes the catcher has to make an adjustment, but it's always concerning because you don't want to adjust too much. Have the ball straighten out.
Smith runs, pitch is not close. So back-to-back walks to open up the bottom of the first inning. So that'll bring up Longoria.
Now Stephen Vogt staying with a fastball. Back-to-back left-handed hitters. Now the righty. See what he does with Longoria. And third-place hitters usually don't bunt, so wouldn't expect it anytime from Longoria. He probably does. Never even practices.
9 home runs, 34 RBIs for Longoria. He's 5 for 13 in the series. So 2 on, nobody out here in the first. And that one's grounded toward Lowry. To Pinder, to first, double play. Jesse Hahn gets a much needed early double play in this game. 4-6-3.
And it basically was just a fastball down the middle, and Longoria, as we saw yesterday, likes the fastball down and in, but this time a perfectly turned double play, and you saw how Pinder was able to get out of the way. Rosie, we saw him in game 2 last night doing the same thing, and now Jesse getting the tough Morrison out. He had a chance to get out of the inning after back-to-back walks.
Jeff Nelson, the first base umpire, has come down.
Well, he's talking about the windup because he's he has to declare, evidently that's what they're talking about, because he's kind of set to the side. So Jeff Nelson basically said you have to wind up. And now, because there's so many guys doing the Sonny Gray, David Price, where it's a minimal, they have to declare if it's going to be out of the stretch of the windup, and I think that's what Nelson did. Jesse's feet close together, so he just takes a very small step back the windup, but he could do the same out of the stretch.
Pitch down and in, 2-0 to Logan Morrison.
You know what?
Smith is at third, 2 out.
Kev, here's where somebody needs to talk to Jesse Hahn, because umpire comes in, stops the game, makes that announcement, and you get a nice rhythm, you get a double play. Maybe somebody needs to go calm him down, just say, hey, don't worry about that, just pitch your game, because this is a big batter for him.
Yeah, there's a run sitting out there.
Yeah, and so that, I mean, it's so unusual, especially in such a quiet place, except between innings where they played loud music.
What? I can't hear you, Ray. What?
But when an umpire comes in, and everybody says, what's he talking about? And basically he has to declare.
Again, 3-1.
You see, if Jesse were smart, he'd say, no, I'm going to pitch out of the stretch because I pitch better and am so far. He walked the first batter out of the windup, walked the second batter out of the stretch, got the double play ground ball, but it's whatever you feel comfortable doing.
3-1 to Morrison. For a strike.
That's a great changeup. Great call, Stephen Vogt. And I say Vogt because pitchers usually go with Voter because he knows what he's doing behind the plate, calling a game. And here's a fastball count, pulls a string, perfectly thrown changeup, and Morrison didn't swing.
Here is the payoff pitch. Foul left side.
And another thing, when Jeff Nelson, the crew chief, came in and announced the windup, you take a runner at third base with Healy playing way off the bag at third. Now the guy's out of the windup. The runner at third can come halfway down the line. Any short wild pitch, he could actually even attempt a straight steal because he's out of the windup. That's why most guys pitch out of the stretch with a runner at third.
C. Smith could come down even further if he wanted to. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So the 2 walks do not hurt Jesse Hahn, and we're scoreless after 1. We're also available to listen live and as a podcast on NBCSportsBayArea.com. Second inning, no score between the A's and the Rays. People hanging out. Tropicana Field.
It's a nice Budweiser porch out in right center field, left center field, right and left of the batter's eye.
Chris Davis goes after the first pitch. It's been very high and very foul down the right field line. He's come in with a 27-35 record. They're 9-22 on the road. Miami bound after the game today. We'll have an off day in Miami tomorrow. It's a 2-game series against the Marlins. Tuesday night and Wednesday day. And then back home for a good homestand with the Yankees and the Astros each coming in for 4-game series. He's announced today that on Wednesday they will call up Daniel Gossett to make the start. So more youngsters coming up, Ray.
Why not? I think it's great.
24-year-old right-hander will be coming up from AAA. Daniel Gossett. He was a non-roster invitee to spring training. This one popped up. Morrison over. Foul territory, but into the seats. So it'll be Jarrell Cotton pitching for the A's. Moreno will pitch for the Marlins. That's Tuesday. And then Wednesday, the day game, Edison Boquez and Gossett. Gossett is 24 years old. He's a right-hander. He was a very high draft pick of the A's in 2014, the 2nd round pick. He's been pitching well in AAA, and we're looking forward to seeing him on Wednesday.
Of course, you remember Bruce Gossett, the place kicker.
Yes.
Good golfer, too. Very good golfer.
Louis Gossett Jr., the actor.
That's right.
Goose Gossett. Oh, that's Gossett. I don't want to make Goose mad. He's
no, he'll throw.
Yeah, he'll tell me how he feels.
Well, he'll throw at you too.
I don't want to make him mad. One-two pitch and a good slider, and that's the 2nd strikeout for Archer.
Well, you know, sometimes catchers use dirt to kind of take the. But check out Derek Norris. Got a little pine tar on his shin guard, and see how the stick him, how his fingers stick to it. Well, he wants to get a little extra stick. He perspires a lot. You can see him wiping his brow, but just to get a little extra pine tar. The question, though, see, you're doing it again. The question is, out of that pine tar, get on the baseball to help the pitcher. You can do that.
No.
I'm not saying it does.
Ray. That's just ridiculous what you're saying.
But listen, if you've got a slider and a curveball, or a slider, a fastball that he throws, but I think this is more for Derek Norris to get a good grip. See, I always wanted dirt. I never wanted to stick them because the ball would stick to your hands, you know, but some guys just want to have that. But, you know, there have also been catchers who have had some sort of a sharp object on their shin guards.
Sure.
And they kind of scrape it and throw it back to the pitcher, and then the pitcher looks at it and says, oh, that's a nice little scuff. I can make some funny things do with the baseball with that.
Mike Scott's ball moved like
yeah, right.
No pitcher ever.
But that on Derek Norris is acceptable. Michael Pineda, when he put it on his neck, is not acceptable. For a pitcher to do that, pitchers are not supposed to use a foreign substance.
But a catcher can.
Evidently. At least as long as it doesn't go out to the pitcher.
See, I mean.
But it's sticking. See his fingers?
And it's the pitcher's going to feel that.
Yeah.
When he gets the ball.
Well, he's going to have it on the baseball. And
hey. Not a terrible move by Derek Norris. 3-1 to Yonder Alonso.
Hey, anything to help. How about Alonso raising his batting average 25 points? I mean, this is hard to do because you're playing mid-June. A lot of at-bats for Yonder, yet big day for him. And he bumps his average up 25 to where he stands right now at the 314 with 289.
Well, he was just part of a big day offensively for the Athletics in that doubleheader. Alonso was kind of the leader. Yeah. He was 3 for 5 in game 1 and 4 for 5 in game 2. So he had 7 total hits, but he was not the only one knocking the ball around for the A's. 2 pitches in the dirt, and Alonso has the walk. So first base runner for the A's. 16 hits in each game for the Athletics, so 32 hits total. That's an Oakland record for most hits in a doubleheader. The 7 hits for Alonso. Brugman had 4 hits. Davis had 5. Healy had 4. Pinder had 3. Sort of makes you look at that first game, and it's a little frustrating because the A's had a lot of chances to score early in that game, and they scored some, but probably not enough. Ended up giving up 3 unearned runs. Here's Healy, who takes down and away.
Check this home run out. Stanek, the hard-throwing right-hander, challenged him. He swung through it, came back. I'll do it again. Well, right-handed was waiting for it. This ball was crushed above the seats, almost into the tarp in the lower deck.
One 1-0 to Healy. 14 home runs and 37 runs batted in. He drills this one toward shallow center, and Smith's not going to be able to get it. It pops up off his glove. He slips, juggles it, drops it. Going to third is Alonso. Nobody's covering second, so Healy goes there.
See, he should have been standing at second. It might have been a double. He's going to get a single plus an error on the center fielder. Got the slider, and the ball kind of knuckled. Looked like it was going to Smith, then knuckled towards left center, popped up, and then that's what happens. You have to jump to keep the ball from going past you. And Yonder Alonso is going to go to third easily. Once, well, actually, he didn't know if it was going to drop, I guess, but from our vantage point, it looked like it was going to be in, maybe head to the wall. But when Ryan Healy rounded first, there's nobody second. Yet he waited and then realized. So you have to always think an extra base in the case of nobody being there. Keep going. But we saw Souza yesterday jump for a ball, or Rasmus, that is. That's what you have to do on the turf.
Single E8. So second and third, 1 out. And here's Stephen Vogt. Vogt had .218 with 4 home runs, 14 RBIs. He's 1 for 6 in this series. That 1 hit, a home run. Taps this one foul at the plate. So this is where, if you're an A's hitter, you know that Archer needs a strikeout, and he is a strikeout guy. So Vogt will do his best to put it in play. The infielders are back.
Yeah, just put it in play. That's the key. Okay, just to roll over if you have to on a ground ball to the right side, just to get a run in.
Instead, he lines one to center for a hit. 1 run's going to score. 2 runs are going to score, and Stephen Vogt comes through with a 2-run single, and the A's have an early 2-0 lead.
A's fans like it. Stephen Vogt loves it. Comes back to the Bay Area on the East Coast where he started and takes Chris Archer with a low fastball. There's the pitch that he caught that was called the ball against Smith for ball 4, but Stephen Vogt went down to get it. Back up the middle to drive in 2. So good start for the Athletics with a couple of hits. 1 out walk started it. Stephen Vogt got the job done, and he caught 4 innings yesterday after pinch hitting, and it was going to be felt that Chris Archer, Bob Melvin said, I'd rather have Stephen Vogt catch Hahn and face Archer, and it's worked out so far very well.
So Vogt gets RBIs 15 and 16, and here's Matt Joyce. Matt Joyce drives one to left field. Rasmus hustling back, still going back, and he makes the catch. So Vogt has to hustle back to first.
Rasmus makes it look easy.
And Joyce hit that ball pretty good.
Yes, he did. A line drive to left field. They played him to pull, but he went nicely to the opposite field. Hard hit ball at the warning track, and Rasmus just very calmly got to it. And of course, at Minute Maid Park where he played left field, that's off maybe into the Crawford boxes.
That's true. Probably would have been.
But here, made a nice running catch, and of course played against the Rays as a member of the Astros.
2 outs for Rajay Davis. Rajay Davis at .211, couple of home runs. First pitch is low.
I really think it helps a hitter if you can eliminate certain pitches, and really you got to set fastball and adjust on the slider. Forget about the changeup because it's thrown so infrequently. But Stephen Vogt got a low fastball, maybe even a pitch out of the strike zone.
A lot of pitches for Archer. This will be number 40 coming up. Archer's he's always been very animated, so you know that going in. I think initially when he came up and he was doing that, I think a lot of opposing players thought he was trying to show him up. And I don't really think that's the case. He just, what do they say, Ray? Just runs a little hot.
Well, it's like Dennis Eckersley.
Yep.
You know, it was more of releasing the frustration and pent up emotion after recording a save or a strikeout. I mean, when you go from starting to closing and you're sitting around waiting for 1 inning. But yeah, Archer, it's animation, nothing wrong with it as long as you can back it up, and I think he can.
Archer, 28 years old. He's 6'2", 195 pounds. Pitch down the right field line. Souza hustling over it. Now he's in the foul territory, and he makes the catch. Side retired. Stephen Vogt with a 2-run single, so the A's lead 2-0 after an inning and a half.
Baseball on NBC Sports California is brought to you by Black Bear Diner. Feed your inner bear.
2-0, the A's lead. It's the bottom of the second inning from St. Petersburg, Florida. Stephen Vogt with the 2-run single. So the A's are an early lead for Jesse Hahn. He'll face Souza, Rasmus, and Beckham. See if Jesse Hahn can get a shutdown inning here in the bottom of the second inning. First pitch is a fastball, strike 2. Power hitting Steven Souza.
I think Jesse got a shutdown in the bottom of the first without any runs scored for him, because 2 base runners, gets a double play and a strikeout. It's exactly the formula for him. Ground ball outs and strikeouts. That usually results in a lot of success for Jesse.
Souza is 4 for 11 in the series. He's got 5 RBIs. He had 3 hits on Friday night. Which one ain't gonna miss? So Hahn ahead in the count, 1-2. Very close, a little bit off the plate, not by much. Infield defense straight up. Rajay Davis shifted just slightly toward right center. Doesn't matter. Souza swings and misses.
24th of last year, Jesse Hahn, who had really back and forth to AAA, but a big start at the Coliseum against the Tampa Bay Rays, and he was outstanding. Got 7 2/3 innings, 5 strikeouts, good fastball up, good curveball. Also gave up just 1 walk, but had to leave the game, or left the game. The A's scored late, got a no decision, but A's did win it 3-2. But Jesse was outstanding in that game. That was his first start since being recalled. So 7 2/3, 4 hits, a run. A very good start for Jesse.
You look at his starts this year, Ray, and he really has had a couple that were just not good. His ERA coming into this start 3.40, which is decent. Remember the start where he had to go on the disabled list, that was against Miami. He gave up 5 earned runs in 2 innings. Dead arm, as they say. Outside of that, faced the Tigers on May 6th, gave up 3 earned runs in 3 2/3 innings. All of his other starts have been pretty good. His record on the road, and that's the last 10 road games, including 9 starts, he's 0-6. This year, maybe he had the best start he's had this season. In fact, it is the best start. Was at Los Angeles. He went 8 innings, gave up 1 hit. Line drive toward Joyce, who reaches up and grabs it. Rasmus hits it hard, but he's retired.
Only one to the left side, and that was Ryan Hayden, who came in to talk after Stephen Vogt. But there's your shift, and Rasmus went over it, but too much over, and a line drive to Joyce. Ball knuckled on him a little bit.
2 outs for Beckham.
One of Jesse's better games in 15 when he pitched against the Royals in Kansas City. Remember that game? He had all the ground ball outs, but developed a blister on his middle finger. Had to come out of the game, but he was outstanding, showing that great ground ball pitcher. And he has been that throughout his career with the Athletics. But when you've had Tommy John surgery and you get some feeling of pain in that area, there's some concern.
That one is driven toward Brugman. Brugman will play it off the base of the wall. He does nicely, gets it in. And Beckham's going to have to hold to a single. So nice job by Brugman, as he knew he couldn't catch it, so he turned around, did not get too close to the wall, and allowed the ball to come off the wall nicely, and he threw it back in quickly.
Especially with someone with speed like Beckham, got a hanging breaking ball. And Beckham maybe out of the box thinking his home run, but had too much topspin, hit the wall, came back, but Brugman played it perfectly. And again, the catch he made yesterday for Yonder Alonso to compliment him on that play, and he played this one just as well, playing it perfectly off the wall. Strong arm, which he possesses, gets it back in. And that's important because it might take 2 hits to score Beckham from first instead of 1 if he's at second base.
So here's Derek Norris. Jesse Hahn was originally a 6th-round pick of these Rays in 2010. He was traded from the Rays to the Padres in January of 2014. He got to the big leagues with the Padres that year, and then traded to the A's in the offseason after 2014 for Derek Norris. So these two guys were traded for each other.
It was remarkable last year with Jesse up and down. It really wasn't hurt. He was injured after the 15 season, or at the end of the 15. Thought he had some elbow issues, but turned out to be a little bit of a strain. And he admitted came back a little bit too strong last year. And his sinker stopped sinking because he was too strong from gaining the extra weight. But he figured out, well, if you can get strikeouts with a mid-90s fastball up in the zone, a good sinker to get ground ball outs, it's going to result in a lot of success, and he's kind of dealt with that.
2-1 pitches. Hit in the air, left center field, hanging up for Brugman, and he makes the catch. Side retired. So a hit and a runner left. We're headed to the 3rd. 2-0 the A's lead.
On Father's Day, that's June the 18th, 1 week from today. Get ready, fathers, to enjoy a nice day. 15,000 fans. We've got a Marcus Semien starting lineup action figure. It's presented by Ashby Lumber and Humboldt Redwood Company. Get tickets at athletics.com. Come to the game as a father, get a Marcus Semien action figure. Boy, that's good. It's a good day.
That's Jacob Brugman's father, so it's been a good weekend for him.
His name is Jay, as in Jacob with J-A-Y, as we mentioned yesterday. That's kind of unique. Yeah,
everybody, all the other fathers are celebrating Father's Day next week. He's celebrating it this
right. He said, my son's in the show, and I'm here to enjoy it. What if he's going to Miami? You need to ask Jason if Jacob.
So 1-1 the count. Brugman struck out swinging in the first inning. 1 of 2 strikeouts by Archer. Fastball is high. Pinder to follow, and then Lowry here in the 3rd. Tigers with the doubleheader, Ray, yesterday. The A's, well, both teams allowed to have a 26th player added. But that means after the doubleheader, somebody has to go. And for the A's, it was Frankie Montas was sent back to AAA. Sean Doolittle was the guy who was added, but all along the plan was for obviously Doolittle to stay, and somebody was going to have to go. So Montas, who Bob Melvin likes a lot, but he was starting to get knocked around a little bit.
And you know, we're going to find out and watching the notes, he's going to dominate AAA. But he probably needs to gain a little confidence back after being up here, and you know, maybe utilize the fastball. He's probably has a starter mentality where he uses all of his pitches, but you throw 98 to 100 with a slider at about 94. You can go 2 pitches, and especially coming out of the bullpen. But he started throwing change-ups, and change-up at 88, 89, he started getting hit pretty hard.
And a hard slider well off the plate. Brugman went after it. So 1 away. So we made it through the doubleheader, and it was fine. 7 hours and 2 minutes. Both games went over the 3-hour mark. The first game, of course, was extra innings, and that lasted 3 hours and 56 minutes. 19 innings pitched by the Rays pitchers. 12 2/3 by relievers. And, of course, lots of hits all over the place. Lots of runs scored. When it was all said and done, it was a split. The attendance was a little over 17,000, which sounded like the Rays were hoping for more.
Like 30? Well, they were hoping.
17.
Yeah, they were hoping for 30 because the way they promoted it, but they never got anything close to that. And to be honest, the game too, maybe there's so, well, nobody's familiar with the doubleheader, especially the second game, and fans look like they were as tired as maybe the players were. So that conversation occurred yesterday during game 1 when Aaron Bush, as Jacob told us in a post-game interview, that he said, let the ball come to you. Now he's telling about the hard slider that he throws inside, which he struck out a couple of times today. But the good thing about this, you could wait till the game is over, but what good does it do? Game's done. He may learn something, as he did yesterday, and pick up something off Archer that will help him in his next at-bats.
2 pitches fouled straight back. Pinder hit a fly ball to right field in the first inning. And that one right at the knees, strike 3 call. So fastball.
Norris called a slider, shook him off to go to the fastball. If you're a hitter and you know that greater percentage of pitches are going to be fastball or slider, and you see a pitcher shake, he's shaking to one or the other. And that's why Stephen Vogt, I think, does a good job when he asks the pitcher, he'll shake his head just to get the hitter thinking about it. But in Archer's case, it's heater and slider, and it's one or the other.
So with 2 outs, here's Lowry. Last year, Archer, his record was not very good. Not indicative of how he pitched. He was 9-19. That hurts. His ERA was 4.02. He threw 201 innings and had 233 strikeouts. So his career record is not very good. But I don't know that it actually shows how good he really is. 2015, he's 12-13. Good ERA. Look at the strikeout totals. Last year, just nothing went his way, and thus his career record is 45-55. But I think everybody around baseball knows how good he is, and that contract that Ray talked about, he signed through 2019 with club options for 20 and 21. So if you were to trade for him, you'd have him for 4 more years after this year, which means he will not be cheap.
That's right.
So a good inning as he strikes out the side, does Chris Archer. Bottom of the third coming up. Teacher program recognizing teachers that make a difference. Visit NBCSportsCalifornia.com and vote. The winner receives $20,000 for his or her school. Bottom of the third from Tropicana Field, 2-0 the A's lead. It'll be Robertson, Smith, and Dickerson. And the first pitch is outside. As we mentioned, the attendance for that doubleheader yesterday. The Rays on the season, it's not good. They're averaging 14,431 per game. That's last in the American League. The A's are second to last, averaging 17,000 per game. But the Rays have not been able to, in this their 20th year of existence, they have not been able to figure out how to get people in this ballpark, and they've had some good teams. They've gone to the World Series. Off the glove of to Lowry, who throws out Robertson.
That's a good point, Ken, because
there has to be some frustration because they have not won a World Series, but they've had some good teams.
Yeah.
They've had good young players.
They're always in contention, and it's a tough Eastern Division. But you think about when the Yankees and Red Sox play here, you close your eyes, and you think it's the home team doing well. No, they fly in from New York and Boston, and they have a lot of transplanted people that come in.
And that one's over the head of Pinder for a hit. So Alex Smith at it again. He's got a walk and a single.
They went in the World Series against the Phillies, and of course the big walk-off when we were in Seattle. And this pitch, a little bit too much up for Jesse Hahn to get the ground ball that he's looking for. And good hitting by Smith to go to the opposite field.
Well, Ray, they have been last in attendance in the major leagues for 5 straight years, and it's probably going to happen again this year. And it's got to be frustrating for them. And they certainly are looking very hard for a new ballpark, much like the A's are. And that's been going on for a while now. Where to build it?
Well, as much as a lot of clubs do not want to hear it, privately financed stadiums the way to go. You don't have to ask for money from voters and vote for a system or something of a way to get the finances.
The Rays' first year was 1998, and that was the year they had their best attendance, which was 2.5 million. They have not gone over 2 million since then.
Okay, let's not forget also that like the A's in the past. The Rays are beneficiaries of the revenue sharing, which is going to go away in 4 years, completely gone.
For the A's.
For everybody. I mean, it's going to go away for everybody. And I mean, it's something the CBA and collective bargaining, I think they voted that it's going to go 25, 25, 25.
For everybody?
For everybody. I think everybody, it's going to go completely away. Yeah.
I didn't know everybody was.
Well, I know, and that's one of the reasons the A's want to get a stadium, because by that time, without getting revenue sharing, I mean, it's a substantial amount that clubs have been getting, and I think that's one of the reasons why yesterday's game had to be approved, because the revenue all goes into a pot, and the lowest revenue clubs get revenue sharing.
So, but if you're saying that that means revenue sharing is being eliminated.
It's been eliminated
for every team.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that was the CBA that was agreed upon in December, that it would be a graduating decrease and elimination completely.
Swing and a miss, 1-2 to Dickerson.
And to be honest, if you're the New York Yankees, they paid billions of dollars in salary and revenue sharing combined, and it's helping other clubs, should help with the revenue sharing, to help them get players to beat them, and yet they're contributing to that. So, but I think that was one of the agreements. I stand corrected if wrong, but from my understanding, it was completely going away in 4 years.
Hit back to the screen. Well, we know that's definitely happening for the Athletics.
Right. It's been talked about. Exactly.
One and two the count. But their attendance where it's at, 14,430. If you multiply that by 81 dates,
yeah,
it's not even 1.2 million.
Exactly. And when you look at Evan Longoria, you have the salary structure. He's making a lot of money, and he's probably at the top. Well, I know for the Rays standpoint, but I mean, he's their franchise player. But then you start looking at everybody else. Can you keep them as they become free agents?
Their payroll this year is $69 million, which is 28th out of 30 teams. Pinder's got it. He's going to throw to second quickly, and they get the out there. Pinder had to charge that ball and move to his right.
A smart play on Pinder as well as Jed Lowry, knowing that Dickerson runs well. Smith runs well. Get one out for sure, especially on a slowly hit ball. Pinder did charge it. Little flip underneath to Jed Lowry, who comes off the bag to avoid the contact and gets the one out, the lead runner, and that's always important.
So 2 away. Here's Longoria. Longoria hit into a 4-6-3 double play in the first inning. Takes a fastball on the inside corner for a strike. Longoria is the Rays' highest paid player. That extension that he has was a 10-year extension. This is the 5th year of that 10-year extension.
Number 250 gets Sean Manaea. Made it a 1-run game. Also had the walk-off in the first game. And a player who we discussed at the beginning of the first game was upset they were playing 2. Yet he had a pretty good day. Matter of fact, a very good day. Is that a boy?
Yep. It's a new day, buddy.
Yeah, he's got to walk by everybody.
Got a little strut going, too.
Liam Hendricks.
Jesse Hahn grabs it. Underhands to first. Side retired. A hit and a runner left. So we're on to the 4th inning. Still 2-0 A's.
Mobile app for live Oakland A's baseball. Stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Get A's home screen icons and app features, as well as game day, live game video, highlights, radio broadcast, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today. And I'm sure a lot of people have done that.
Top of the 4th inning with the A's leading the Rays 2-0. Davis, Alonso, and Healy against Archer. Archer has retired 5 in a row. He struck out the side in the 3rd inning. He's got 5 strikeouts in the game. One of them was Chris Davis leading off the 2nd inning.
That's recognized in a slider. And that's important for a hitter, especially with a slider as good as Archer's. We've talked a slider. You throw a baseball with the red seams, it creates a red dot. True slider. Cutter, not so much, but a slider, yes. Good hitters with a good eye can pick up the dot and know that it's going to break away from them, and they can stop their swing.
2-1 to Davis. And now it's 3-1. Came right at him, 96 miles an hour. All right, what do you think, Ray? 3-2?
Heater.
You calling heater? All right, I'm calling slider.
50-50 chance.
Here's your heater.
Fastball away.
And it's popped up right center. Souza, the right fielder, waits, and he's got it. So Davis is retired. No surprise here. Chris Archer, when he is ahead in the count, he throws his slider 54% of the time.
Number 17,
so that's his strikeout
right
pitch.
and you noticed in this game, of course, at 3-2 he did it to Brugman, figuring he's going to be looking fastball, but in reality, and I think we've discussed it enough to know if the pitcher has a good fastball, 3-2, you throw him a slider, you miss, you got to fool him anyway. And if he doesn't swing and it's a ball, you walk him. Here's a challenge fastball. You just challenged one of the best home run hitters in baseball with a 3-2 fastball, and he popped it up. And percentage-wise, your fastball is probably the best to throw for a strike. And if you have pretty good velocity, which Archer does, and control, might as well challenge him.
1-1 the count to Yonder Alonso, who walked and scored in the 2nd inning.
So that's 2 of his 7 changeups that he just.
That's right.
he's not going to throw many.
He's running out of changeups.
Yonder looking forward to tonight after the game to head to Miami. Of course, he wants to have a good game today to continue what he's done all season, but he gets a chance to see his family. Said he's about 10 minutes from the new Marlins Park. Very convenient for Yonder Alonso to go home to Miami for a 2-game series with an off day tomorrow.
He's got his name scattered around the leaderboards in the American League. He's 10th in the league in batting average. He's 3rd in the league in slugging percentage. He's 5th in on-base percentage. He's 6th in home runs. How about that?
That's a great year. It's a great year for, I mean, it's comparable to when David Ortiz announced his retirement last year and had one of the best offensive years of anybody going into retirement. Well, Yonder's going into free agency after this year. And there are some guys who will say, oops, you know, I'm panicking a little bit, you know, trying too hard. Well, Yonder having his best season ever.
So he walks for the 2nd time. Alonso on the big board. The home run leaders with Judge at 19, Smoke with 18. Springer on that list. So Aaron Judge and Justin Smoke. Logan Morrison is there.
A year ago, you would never have found Logan Morrison's name on that list.
No, you wouldn't have found Aaron Judge either.
No, that's true. Yonder was not on the list either. Yeah, that's a lot of names.
It's funny, we talk a lot about the year Yonder's having, and I think the Blue Jays talk a lot about the year Justin Smoke's having.
Yeah.
He's having a terrific year, and we've seen Smoke a lot. And the numbers he's putting up are far and above what he's ever done. And really the same thing with Yonder. Really takes a strike. So it's 0-2.
I talked to a scout who was with Seattle when they had Smoke. And he said, you have to appreciate what he's doing even though you let him go. And he is having a tremendous year with Toronto.
Well, he had plenty of chances. I mean,
yes, he
he
did.
was everyday first baseman in Seattle for 4 years.
That's right. He definitely had. I mean, when you're the chip in a big trade, yeah, you're going to get opportunities.
Healy chases. Then there was the slider. So that's strikeout number 6 for Archer. So as the graphic showed you, he got ahead in the count. And then he went to the slider, and he throws it. I mean, it's 91 the velocity. That's pretty good velocity for a breaking ball.
And if that's always even a strike when it left his hand. That's the key. If you can pick it up, and I think what he does, he feasts on young players. He got Brugman twice today. He's got Pinder 1. Larry the veteran. KD got Healy. So I mean, looks like he challenged both Jed Lowry and Chris Davis.
Strike at the knees to Vogt. Vogt with the big hit in the game, the 2-run single in the second inning. One thing with Archer, excuse me.
Stephen Vogt, he got a 2-run single in the first or second inning, but this is what he did in 2015 coming home. Chris Archer gave up a home run. Archer would win the game. That guy took a fall, but Stephen Vogt hit his 10th home run in that game off Chris Archer. So you can say he had a 2-run or a solo home run, but 2-run single. And really a decision by Bob Melvin, the manager, with him catching 4 innings yesterday. There's who to catch in the second game, and today he wanted Stephen Vogt against this guy.
This one's belted to right center field. Malik Smith is on the run, can't get it. Bounces up against the wall. Alonso rounds third. Alonso is going to score, and the A's lead 3-0.
Have a day, Stephen Vogt.
Number 23, Matt Jones.
And I don't know if Smith could have kept the ball from. I mean, that pitch is out of the strike zone at 95. Went up and got it, lifted it right center. But Smith, with Alonso running, he tried for it. Ball gets by him, leaves his feet, tried to block it, but couldn't do it. Better maybe concede an extra base hit, keep the runners at second and third. Instead, by going for it and falling, Yonder Alonso able to score all the way from first base. He's walked twice, he scored twice, thanks to Stephen Vogt's single and now double.
Yeah, I think if it's played better, Alonso may not have scored.
Yeah.
Smith kicked it around a little bit. So Joyce is retired. Stephen Vogt. Have a day, Stephen Vogt. He's knocked in all 3 runs. A's lead 3-0.
entrance to Jim Catfish Hunter before the game against the Yankees. Family and former teammates will unveil the new gate following the ceremony from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Go to the Shive Park Tavern and meet former players Vida Blues, Bert Campaneris, and more. You can also join the reception and breakfast for $150 per person, with all proceeds going to the Jim Catfish Hunter ALS Foundation and the A's Community Fund. Game tickets and the separate reception tickets are available at athletics.com/catfish. What an honor for the great one, Jim Catfish Hunter, Hall of Famer, one of the best people, in addition to a very good pitcher, but a quality person, and unfortunately left us too soon after being diagnosed with ALS. So his wife Helen, of course, will be there with the family. And she has been instrumental in the Catfish Hunter ALS Foundation for many, many years. And I'm sure last year, was it last year, the bucket, they had the bucket, what do they call that?
Ice bucket challenge.
Ice bucket challenge. Thank you, Kat. Was it last year or the year before? Whatever it was, but it was a great, great benefit for the ALS Foundation. Cat was one of the best, and I think the demise of the A's started in 1975 after Catfish had gone to the Yankees as really the first free agent before free agency came into play in '76.
Morrison to lead it off, followed by Souza and Rasmus. Morrison struck out in the first inning. Stephen Vogt with 3 RBIs today. Had to guide Jesse Hahn through it. Happy guy right there.
He probably believes in Stephen Vogt like we all do. See Stephen shaking his head. He doesn't want Jesse Hahn to change the sign. He just wants him to shake his head to get the hitter thinking about it. Morrison got a 3-1 changeup, 3-2 fastball in his first at bat with a runner at third and struck out.
So full count to Morrison. Just a couple of hits allowed in the first 3 innings for Jesse Hahn. He's got a couple of strikeouts and a couple of walks. 2 pitch right there, strike 3 call.
See, that always puzzles me, how a hitter 3-2 can take a fastball down the middle of the plate. What are they looking for? And this is as center cut as there is. No slight movement, but essentially 94-mile-an-hour fastball, and Jesse Hahn freezes him. And
he probably wants to swing at that one. So with 1 out here, Steven Souza, he struck out in the second inning. A little bit off the plate.
Kind of like Corey Blazer's strike zone today. At least Jesse Hahn does with Stephen Vogt.
A little bit of a pitcher strike zone. 1 out, right?
Absolutely. I think it's essential in kind of making sure the game gets a nice flow. If the hitters believe they're going to have to swing the bat because of a strike zone, that's really warrants a hitter swinging the bat instead of taking so many pitches.
2-1 pitch just missed, and now it's 3-1. Jesse Hahn has not had a 3-up, 3-down inning yet.
Jesse seems to be a max effort pitcher. Every pitch 3-2 again. Back-to-back hitters. That is a sinking fastball sign. That's what you hope to get, a ground ball in play for an out.
The count remains 3-2. Nice little party area down the right field line and down the left field line. Seems to be popular area. That is foul. Ball's running in on Susie. He's shaking his hand a little bit, so he must have got it maybe a little above the trademark, which does not feel great.
Well, the hard sinker running inside, you get it down to the point where you get the vibration on your hands. And had a taxi cab driver many years ago in New York said that's why hitters wear batting gloves, because
thank you for that.
That's what I said. Said I never knew that.
On the ground to Pinder. Pinder throws, got it.
And he almost took too long.
Yeah, and Souza is fast. Souza's hanging around. He thinks maybe he was safe.
Well, Pinder backed up, then took a crow hop, a little extra. Then, of course, he has a strong arm, but they're going to take a look. Maybe that's why he is not vacating the area. Now he is, because it's really close, but maybe too close to overturn. But he took a little too much time. Nice stretch by Robert Alonso. And if it hits the front of the bag, it might be a different story. Hit the middle.
That was close.
Yeah. Maybe because the crew chief Jeff Nelson's over there, he said we better just go on.
So with 2 outs, here's Colby Rasmus. Rasmus hit a line drive to right field in the 2nd inning. Toward Rajay Davis. Raj was right there, goes down to his knees and makes the catch. Side retired. So that's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Jesse Hahn. 3-0 A's after 4. Bay Area tomorrow at 4:30. Get ready for Game 5 versus the Cavs with the team that you've watched all season long with Papa Saint, Alana Roz, and the insider Monty Poole. Game 5 tomorrow at Oracle. So 3-0. The A's lead the Rays. It's the top of the 5th inning. A's with 2 in the 2nd and 1 in the 4th against Chris Archer. Good A's fans. Right field Will is in right field.
Didn't see his banner during the parade yesterday, though.
Slacking. See, we'll start talking about him, and then we'll show him, and then he'll reach into his pocket and get his phone. That's usually the way it works. Rajay Davis hit a pop-up down the right field line that was caught by Souza in foul territory. This one right up the middle. Backhanded by Robertson. Throws to first. A nice play by Daniel Robertson. So that's the first out here in the 5th inning, and here's Brugman.
Left fielder, Jacob Brugman.
Brugman has struck out a couple times. He has seen that Archer slider.
And that's probably what Darren Bush was talking about. See if you can pick up the spin, especially in a count when he's ahead, or in the case of Brugman, 2-2 in the first time, 3-2 in the second. There it is.
Do it again. So we'll see if the young man can make the adjustment on Archer or wait to get a fastball.
Yeah, might as well look. And some hitters, it's hard to pick up the spin. That's why, I mean, there's so little time. There's your fastball outside corner, but there's so little time once Archer delivers the ball, less than a second to decide all the particulars about the pitch.
So 0-2. And that one is line past Longoria. Brugman's going to try for 2. The throw to second base is in time, and they got him on a very close play. There's the two friends, Robertson and Brugman, meeting at the bag at second base, and Brugman was called out.
Yeah, Bob Melvin out on the top step just to take a look at it. Got the breaking ball, the slider. And Brugman coming off the bag, but they're going to take a look. But the one thing about Rasmus, he gets to the ball. He has a very strong arm, 360 turn, throw to second base a little bit offline. And of course, their good friend Laz Diaz, and I guess they're going to let it stand. But the hard slide. He kept his foot on the bag. It looked like maybe he was tagged on the right foot, missed the left, tagged on the right. Was the left on it? We'll never know because they're not going to take a look at it.
So it'll be a single thrown out trying to stretch it into a double. Pinder skies one into foul territory down the right field line. Morrison runs out of room.
Brugman with the feet first slide. Robertson diving, and there it looked like he got him, but got his right foot, and perhaps Adam Roden thought that he got his right foot before the left one got on the bag.
Yeah, it looked like maybe his glove like touched the
just enough
the toe area of the shoe. It was very close. So 0-1 the count to Pinder, who has hit a fly ball to right field, and he has struck out. High fastball at 97 miles an hour. So it's 0-2. Now 4 for 16 in this series, so starting to get consistent playing time.
Yeah, I think that happened last homestand camp when you started seeing Pinder play more at shortstop. Adam Rosales not playing as much.
Strike 3 called, a slider on the inside corner. 7 strikeouts for Archer. So we're going to the bottom of the 5th. It'll be Beckham, Norris, and Robertson. 3-0 A's. cinematic version of the legend that has fascinated cultures all over the world since the dawn of civilization. The Mummy.
The Mummy.
In theaters now.
So is that why they're showing the Ray tank?
Sure. It's the closest we can get to something scary. The Rays tank way out in right center field. Beckham to lead it off, bottom of the 5th. Jesse Hahn and the A's leading the Rays 3-0. Hahn's been good so far.
67 pitches for Jesse, and if you look at 101, 103, 101, so 3 times over 100 mark. There was a time when he got to about 90, he said he'd never pitched more than 90. And Jesse Hahn trying to exceed that, but also Sean and I yesterday, twice he's exceeded the 103, 106 mark, and he's happy that he was sent out to go a little bit deeper in the game. Of course, in game 2 yesterday, it helped for him going 7 innings.
Pitch. Rolled foul to the left of home plate. Angels have a 1-0 lead over the Astros in the 3rd. That's a rubber game of that series. The Astros continue to have the best record in the American League at 44-19. Best record by a wide margin.
44-19.
Second most wins in the American League, the Yankees with 36. Very close. The Astros, after wrapping up that series, they will stay home and host the Texas Rangers. In fact, it's a long homestand for the Astros. Swing and a miss. Took a lot off on breaking pitch, and Beckham strikes out. 4 strikeouts for Hahn.
Big sweeping breaking ball, and he goes from throwing a lot of fastballs, and all of a sudden here comes some breaking pitches to the right-hander, and Stephen Vogt, that's one of his better traits for the catcher, to be able to recognize whatever a pitcher is throwing to perfection and how to bring in the other pitches. Sometimes it goes unnoticed what a catcher can do at handling a pitching staff, and probably one of the most important parts of his job as a catcher. Stephen today has added a lot offensively, but he caught Jesse Hahn's shutout, first ever, on Memorial Day a couple of years ago, and still see that smile even though he went 0 for 4.
Fastball for a strike, 1-1. Norris hit a fly ball to left field. He's 0 for 5 in the series, hitting 194. And now it's 1-2. The Astros will host the Rangers Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They'll be off Thursday, and then they host the Red Sox next weekend. So Minute Maid will be jumping all week. Big crowd starting to show up. Norris looks like he's walking back to the dugout, but he's not.
A young man down the line's not making a lot of spectacular plays today. I guess he got tired of the doubleheader yesterday.
Yeah, 1 a day.
Sad for him when he has to walk past the players who are sitting down and ragging on him every time he walks by them.
I think he likes walking by them. I'm telling you. So Norris strikes out, waves at a pitch, 2-1.
Sweeping breaking ball, and that's a good pitch because it's a ball right there and a ball even more way out of the strike zone.
So 2 away. 7 in a row retired by Jesse Hahn as he faces Daniel Robertson. Swing and a miss.
Guys sitting first pitch fastball, and Boder and Hahn throwing first pitch breaking pitches.
one is lined toward left field. Brugman can't get it. He'll play it off the wall, picks it up quickly, gets it in quickly. It's going to be a 2-out double for Robertson.
Did the same breaking pitch, only this one stayed in the inner half of the plate. Not exactly where he wanted it outside. Look where it ends up. That is a very good hitting zone for a right-hander with the ball staying in the inner part of the plate. Bregman tried to return the favor with his buddy at second base, but this was not going to happen as Robertson, thinking double the whole way, and made it in easily.
So just the third hit for the Rays. And here's Malik Smith, who has walked and he has singled. He's been a tough out the whole series. Swing, gonna miss. Smith now with an average of .343. 12 hits in 35 at-bats at the big league level.
And I think to your point about how he's using the whole field and how he's hitting different pitches makes him a pretty good hitter. Stephen Vogt with the block, and with 2 outs and Rays trailing, Robertson didn't attempt to move. But as a hitter, if you show you can handle different pitches, then you stay out of that pattern that, in the case of Brugman yesterday, saying nothing but the changeups from Ramirez outside until he adjusted.
Well, the worst thing that Malik Smith could do would be to hit fly balls to left field.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And he has not really done that in this series.
He's hit a lot of ground balls and line drives, which is perfect for him. Utilize the speed.
He seems to have a pretty good idea of that. So the count stays 1-2.
I'm sure throughout his young career, minors or majors, there have been enough hitting coaches and managers who've said utilize the speed, which means no fly balls.
But he doesn't overswing.
Right.
Pitch number 83 coming up from Jesse Hahn. Here it is. And that one's driven toward right center. Davis coming in. Can't get it. It bounces off his body. Run's going to score. Smith's going to make it the second easily. And it's 3-1. So Malik Smith hurts the A's again.
Now, a lot of breaking balls in this half inning, and this one, while not a bad pitch, yet the young left-handed hitter able to go down and get it. And Rajay David just slapping at it as the turf is fast, and I think we've seen proof of this with the way the ball is hitting the turf and nearly taking off. And you see outfielder just kind of slapping to the ball, keeping it from going past them. So Malik Smith do it earlier with Stephen Vogt. Now Rajay experiencing the same thing. So they get a hit with a runner in scoring position, something that today has not occurred for them.
So goes as a double, back-to-back 2-out doubles. Here's Dickerson. First pitch runs down and away to Dickerson, who has walked and reached on a fielder's choice.
And this is after back-to-back strikeouts, and now 2-out double-double.
Dickerson is 1 for 10 in the series. 2-0. Rangers and the Nationals will get started in a little bit. Rangers going for the sweep in Washington, D.C. To do that, they'll have to beat Max Scherzer. Rangers are 29-32. Sneaking in is Pinder behind Smith, but don't know that there was necessarily a play on. Outfield plays Dickerson straight away. He's got good power to all fields. And Smith running, the ball's fouled straight back. So if you're Malik Smith and you're going to do that, that's fine, but you have to make it.
Well, with his speed and the outfield playing the way they are, I mean, the only way you're going to score is an infield hit, a wild pitch, pass ball. Sure, there are options, but you're already in scoring position with the speed he has. Any ball to the outfield is going to score easily. And I agree with you because it could distract the hitter more.
Yeah, that's true.
Than anything, and plus take the chance of getting thrown out, which probably unlikely, but still a lot of things negatively about it. Problem with that pickoff play, if it hits his body and goes to the outfield, nobody's moving.
No, Rajay Davis never moved.
And he could have possibly scored from second on an overthrow, a ball that starts going because the outfielders are playing deep.
Pitch good, swing by Dickerson.
And if anything, Smith is just trying to distract Jesse Hahn, and Jesse should concentrate strictly on the hitter. Get him out. You don't have to worry about the runner at second. Still have a 2-run lead going into the dugout.
Well, that's a big guy to get. Don't want to have to face Longoria.
That's an emphatic curveball, so I think that's what he's going to throw. Throw it hard. No, heater.
And it is fair.
Wow.
Down the third base line, and it's going to be a 3-2 game. Dickerson just reached out and poked it, and Healy did all he could to try to catch it on the backhand. Could not get it, and it's an RBI double. 3-2 game.
Kurt Young out to visit. Wade. Stephen Vogt put the twos down, the curveball sign, but that ball just tailing away and just flipped it to left field. And you can see where Ryan Healy is in his effort to go to the side. Could not do it. Wow. So that quickly, 2 strikeouts and then 3 consecutive doubles. And they do have to face Longoria with the tying run at second.
So Dickerson gets his 20th double, one behind Jed Lowry for the league lead in the American League. And here comes Longoria. So 3 straight doubles, all with 2 outs. Longoria has hit into a double play and bounced back to the pitcher. That one hit the shallow left center field. It's going to be trouble. It's going to fall. So just like that, we're tied. It's a 3-3 game. Big series for Evan Longoria.
Well, he did not hit it hard, but he hit it in the perfect place. Another hanger from Jesse Hahn, not the pitch that he probably wanted to throw. And Evan Longoria put the ball in play. The outfield playing deep. And not only, it didn't stay up that long either, to the point that anybody can even get to the ball. In no man's land. Rajay had to hold up so the ball didn't bounce over his head. And well, you think an easy inning with the bottom third of the batting order?
That's a good point. You get the 7th hitter out, you get the 8th hitter out, but you can't get the 9th hitter out. Yeah. And now it's 3-3. So John Axford loosening up. 1-0 to Morrison. And Morrison rips one fair, headed for the right field corner. Joyce is going to have to get to it clean. He does. And they're going to hold up Longoria.
Well, they got lucky on that one. Got lucky that the ball came back to Joyce, who got to the ball quickly. But all of a sudden, everything's imploding. Off speed, the changeup, and Morrison hit it just inside the line. Watch the ball come back to Joyce, though. That helped because with 2 outs and Longoria first, he was going to be sent, but the ball off the side wall. Joyce got it back in. And Longoria rounded the bag aggressively, but was held open by Montoya. He's thinking he's going to score because the ball into the corner, but had to be held up.
So second and third, 2 away, and here's Souza. He's the 8th man to hit in the inning, 5 consecutive hits. First pitch, swing and a miss.
And was it Friday night, all the 2-out hits, RBIs by the Rays?
Axford and Oolong start to throw. Souza has struck out and grounded to short. Broken back toward the second baseman Lowry, who throws to first. Side retired. Rays tie it. They get 3 runs on 5 hits. 6th inning coming up. It's a 3-3 game.
Against the Twins, 15,000 fans will receive a G-Eazy bobblehead that plays an audio message from the man himself, presented by Majestic. This bobblehead features Oakland's own G-Eazy, the world-famous rapper and lifelong A's fan. Plus, we'll be at the game to throw out the ceremonial first pitch that night. For tickets, visit athletics.com/promotions. And if you want to see a pretty good team, your own, the A's, but also the Twins, as they are playing very good baseball.
Twins with a 2.5 game lead over the Indians in the Central. One of the surprises in baseball.
Jesse Hahn, of course, the bullpen was up, got through the inning with a tie game, but his pitch count's approaching 100. It's a question whether he's going to go back out. Started in the mid-60s in the 5th inning. Kurt Young might have saved it, or one more. Usually with 1 out, somebody in the bullpen, if they're coming in, will get up and start throwing.
For the Rays, Archer at 86 pitches. It's 2-1. Ray mentioned those 2-out hits. 12 2-out runs this series. He certainly added to that total in the 5th. That's usually the sign of a team that's playing well. Hooked foul, 2-2 the count.
Well, that's called a lot of confidence in the hitters, the belief that they can get down, just give them a chance, get some hits together. But you know, on the other side, from the A's standpoint, Jesse Hahn and just trying to get that foul out and not let the bleeding continue.
In the air, shallow right. Souza hustling in, and he dives. He can't get it. It goes past him all the way to the wall. Lowry rounds second. He's going to easily make it to third. Chip Hale says, hold up, and it's going to be a three-bagger for Lowry. So how about that?
Not a smart play.
Nope.
Not a smart play. He knows it. Souza knows it, because man on turf, on grass also, you leave your feet and you don't have 100% chance, and I mean 100% chance of catching the ball. Give it up. Base hit, keep the double play in order, but he charges in and misses the ball. Great play, great highlight reel if he gets it done, but he misses it and turns into a triple. And anybody with the speed, it's an inside the park home run. Jed Lowry was running hard, but that's as fast as Jed's going to go. And it's going to be a triple, and he's praying, don't send me, Chip, because that is a long way around the bases. But a mistake the A's need to capitalize.
First pitch to Davis is hit foul. So the infield is in. So Lowry is first triple since the 27th of May last year.
They have a drill during spring training where you run the bases. You run hard to first base. Then you go back to home plate. Then you do it to second, back to home, to third. And you start going from home to third, then home to home. It's like a road trip, man. It is a long way. I always wish the coaches had to run too. I mean, they're standing there and saying, let's go, let's go. And you find very quickly it's a long way.
Bounce to back up. Can't get it. It's over his head, and the A's take the lead. It's a big chopper. Davis will take it. It's an RBI single, 4-3 Athletics. So the infield was in. Beckham tried to get back, and it would have been like catching a pop-up with his back to home plate.
And even if he had been back and Jed was going on contact, he would have scored easily. But this ball, take a look. And sometimes we saw a ball hit off the dirt in front of home plate. It was so hard it bounced over A's third baseman's head. But that one, as hard as it was hit by Chris Davis, it could have been just in front, either on the plate, on the dirt. It's hard. But anyway, got a base hit, got the runner in.
Here's Yonder Alonso. First pitch to Alonso is a strike.
Well, you play on the turf, you live on the turf, you die on the turf. That's, you have to play in, and with Chris Davis to play, he's a tough guy to play in anyway.
See Hendricks starting to throw in the A's bullpen. 0-2 the count to Yonder Alonso, who has walked twice and scored twice.
Jesse's out of the game as Liam Hendricks, but Jesse right now pitcher of record with 12 outs the A's will need out of the bullpen. And maybe the fact in yesterday's games only used the 6 minimally, that they will be able to try to get the final 12 out to get the A's a win or split of the series.
Tip hung on by Morris, and that's the first out here in the 6th inning.
Ball stayed up, maybe just the fact of the number of pitches, and down Alonso a little bit out in front of the hard slider. Cap, you're right, it is hard at 90-91. That's a hard breaking pitch.
So here's Healy. Well, you look at this game, we look at it from Chris Archer's viewpoint. There have been 3 mistakes made by 3 outfield mistakes.
That's right. That's right.
The error in the 2nd inning. If you look at the sequence, remember the error kind of allowed Healy to go from 1st to 2nd. It would have been 1st and 3rd. Instead, it was 2nd and 3rd. That cost him a run.
That's right.
And I think the mistake by Smith in the 4th inning on the vote double. He did not play that well. And I think if he plays it well, I don't know that Alonso scores.
I agree. I agree 100% on that one.
And that's a mistake by Souza in right field.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you could really make an argument that those mistakes have cost Archer 3 runs. Oh, it's a perfect world. All those plays are made properly, but the point is only one is going to go down as an error.
That's right. But 3 earned runs at this point, and it could have been no runs, but that's why he lost 19 last year.
He just got a piece of it.
So Souza, as we were talking about him, he pulled a piece of paper out of his back pocket, which indicates the positioning of himself in right field for certain players. Seeing more and more, he's heard that some minor league teams are going to all-out risk like the football quarterbacks, showing positioning for various hitters. And eventually that's probably going to be up here with everybody. They took away the placements of the field, the markers for defensive positioning. I suppose they took that away in the last CBA.
Cued slowly toward Robertson. Robertson, the ball falls, is able to get up and throw out Healy. Lost his balance. So Healy's retired. Davis does get to second base.
Steven should be intentionally walked, don't you think? Now Stephen Vogt has been the offense for the A's. This was a 2-run single, a big one, pitched down out of the strike zone maybe, but that's what Copper's talking about. That would have been 1st and 3rd. Instead, Healy got to 2nd and was able to score. And then it comes up again. This is another mistake, both by Stephen Vogt as Smith trying to knock it down. Should have probably just played it on one hop, keeping Alonso at 3rd. Stephen Vogt gets the double. And they're all earned runs, but mistakes made and able the A's to score the 3. Stephen Vogt trying to come through again.
First pitch to Vogt is in for a strike. And the Souza play that we're talking about, listen, I mean, he's an aggressive player and he made a good effort. But I think the situation maybe calls to be careful because it's a 3-3 game and it's the leadoff hitter.
Absolutely.
If you miss it, and we saw what happened, he's going to end up at 3rd, or if it's a fast guy, he's going to score.
And if you look at what has happened,
Robertson has it. Throws out Vogt, but the A's get a run. Lowry triple, Davis single, so we're going to the bottom of the 6th. A's 4, Rays 3.
California is brought to you by Max Muscle Sports Nutrition Petaluma. NPC athlete Lori Mathis is there to help you get in shape this summer.
So 4-3, bottom of the 6th inning. And we told you Chris Archer. Well, this is where Chris Archer probably needs to just calm down.
Yeah. Well, and they have a walkway back there, too. They can say, you can say, hey Hick, I need to talk to you. Let's go down here out of sight because there's too many cameras. They're everywhere.
Looks bad.
Yeah.
Looks bad.
And his teammates are going to see that.
When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. Here's Liam Hendriks. So Hendriks takes over for Hahn here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Hendriks was the losing pitcher in game 1 of the doubleheader. Rasmus to strike on the outside corner.
Okay, the A's need to do two things the next 4 innings. 12 outs. They need to get outstanding relief help, and they need to add on some runs, make it easier on the bullpen. But we've seen Bob Melvin and Kurt Young pull some magic whenever they need to get a lot of outs to get a game win. And at this point, Jesse Hahn ends up being the pitcher of record. The A's have the lead, but he needs 12 outs to get the win, the club to get the win, and the win for the club is most important.
Hendriks threw 13 pitches in yesterday's game. We talked about it in the pregame show. He's back in the studio. A's bullpen's in pretty good shape.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though the doubleheader was yesterday, because in this series, coming into this game, no pitcher had pitched more than once. And they still have a long man in Josh Smith available, who has not pitched.
Right.
And so they're fine with the day off tomorrow. I don't think Bob Melvin is restricted at all.
He's not. He said everybody's available, which he really knows before the game certain guys that may or may not be available. But he's asked him before it came up, and he said everybody's ready. That's the
7
line.
hits, 3 runs, 93 pitches for Jesse Hahn. So he does have a chance to get a win.
But, you know, he can also look at last inning. He ended up throwing a ton of pitches after getting the first 2 outs and give up successive hits to the point that the Rays tied the game when it came out, and then his club added 1.
In this series, the A's bullpen has thrown 9 1/3 innings compared to 15 2/3 innings for the Rays bullpen.
That's why it was important and very good that Chop and I went 7 innings last night in the nightcap.
Most of those 9 innings too were game 1.
Exactly.
Friday night.
Just think how much easier it would be for a manager pitching coach to see Hahn and Cotton, 2 of the youngsters. But if a starting pitcher could go 7 innings every start, it would be so easy. Then you'd have to worry about getting guys work. Now you don't have to, because in case of the Rays last night with Andres.
Davis going back. Davis near the wall. And we're tied. Rasmus with his 9th home run.
On a high breaking ball that it was just crushed. I'll take it back, a high heater. Well, I thought some movement, but that's just a strong young man, and off the center field batter's eye, just kept climbing and climbing and hit about 20 feet up.
So first home run of the day for the Rays, their 7th home run in this series. And let's not forget, they lead the American League in home runs hit. That's number 99.
And you think of the difference in a location of fastball up versus down, and what happens to it.
Swinging and a miss by Beckham. So the Rays have 99 home runs in 66 games.
Jesse Honda, no decision. Now looking for his club to come back and win the game to win the series, or at least split the series. A split for a team that's struggling on the road would be a major accomplishment.
1 ahead of the Yankees, 2 ahead of the Astros, 8 ahead of the Athletics in total home runs. The backstop. The Rays will at some point in the fairly near future get Wilson Ramos into their lineup. And if you look at their positions, they're not getting a whole lot offensively from the catcher spot.
That's
and
true.
That's what Ramos is. And Ramos is a very good offensive player. Coming back from knee surgery. He has not played yet this year, but he'll be in that lineup soon. Strong throw by Healy. Off the mark, and Beckham's aboard. Well, Healy needed to make a good throw. He tried the skip technique. It just pulled Alonso off the bag.
But once he had to back up, and the speed of Beckham, right there, a couple of steps back, and then unloaded quickly, threw it straight into the ground. Ideally, one bounce to the first baseman, not multiple bounces, because it slows down after it hits the turf a couple of times.
I thought Beckham, I don't know if he stepped on the bag a little strange.
Might have.
So here's Norris. Norris is 0 for 2. Norris had a good swing, fouls it to the net. Gets back up.
And he's getting ready for Smith, top of the order. It's nice that the A's have 2 lefties, and Sean Doolittle said today he felt great after 11 pitches last night. Good velocity. So now Bob Melvin can go to Coulomb or Doolittle, knowing that he has 1 more remaining. It's a low fastball that was called by Corey Blazer earlier. Not this time, though. The lower part of the strike zone.
Should have been called a strike.
I think so.
That game's down and away. So a home run and a single to open up the bottom of the 6th against Liam Hendricks. There goes. Ball's hit in the air toward right field. Matt Joyce has it. Beckham returns to first. So Norris heads back to the dugout. He's 0 for 3.
I think you're right, Kat, the way Beckham's down with his hands on his knees. Probably more of a straight steal than a hit and run.
So here's Robertson, who had that big 2-out double in the 5th. That was the first of 5 consecutive hits for the Rays, and that allowed them to tie the game. Takes the strike. Well, coming up for the Rays, they will be off tomorrow, just like the Athletics. The Rays will be at Toronto Tuesday and Wednesday, and then at Detroit Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So they got a 6-game road coming up. Don't know if they're traveling after the game or traveling tomorrow to Toronto.
I think after today. Today.
Today.
Yeah.
So they will have an off day in Toronto. The A's will have an off day in Miami.
You know, Kat, more and more clubs are doing that, where you leave after the game, spend the off day in the city that you're going to. Then I guess it's better than having a room where sleep room.
It's a lot better. And you know what? We like Toronto. Toronto's a very nice city. I'd rather have an off day in Miami.
Yeah.
You and I are going to go to the beach tomorrow?
You're going to. I'm going to sleep.
Awesome. Ray at the beach. Going for a dip.
Yeah. That's why for the boys to have the off day tomorrow, to win today to split the series and go into Miami and you try to have a successful road trip. And Alonso are looking forward to it. To go home.
Swing and a miss. Oh, Hendricks gets Robertson swinging.
And Bob Melvin going to Daniel Coulomb, and it's what he was getting loose for, and he's not going to let right-hander pitch to Smith again as this hard slider out of the strike zone. Robertson, though, going after it and heads back to the dugout with a strikeout.
So lefty on lefty, Coulomb coming in to face Smith.
Karaoke, they're doing it. But you can karaoke with the fireworks night Friday, June the 16th. It's presented by Ray Morgan Company. Follow the Yankees against the Athletics. Fans are invited onto the field to enjoy an amazing fireworks show featuring an all-star lineup of sing-along songs, just like here at the Trop. For tickets, visit athletics.com/tickets. Bet it's not as loud there.
No, there's no place on earth that's louder than Tropicana Field.
Well, even the Rays broadcasters, the radio guys said, this is unbelievable. We can't even talk between innings.
Can't.
It's so loud.
Put your headset on to get a little peace and quiet. All right, here's the matchup. Coulomb against Malik Smith, who the A's just cannot seem to get out. Today he has walked, singled, doubled, scored, and knocked in a run. High strike call. Smith didn't like it. I think the Rays dugout liked it. So the Colby Rasmus home run leading off this half of the 6th inning has tied the game at 4. Just outside. That one Coulomb thought was a strike. So nobody's happy right now. Beckham with a decent lead. And get off the plate. That's a close pitch.
Yes, it is. And really a pretty good pitch for Smith to hit the ball the opposite field, which he has been doing pretty consistently.
This is the last pitch. So it's very close. Swinging and a miss. Slider down. Smith chased it, so the count is even at 2-2. The runner is Beckham at first. He's got very good speed.
And it ran with Derek Norris at the plate. Beckham did. Hit and run maybe, fly ball to right field, but did not run with Robertson. And that's with Liam Hendricks, the right-hander, facing him. So a lefty, sometimes they say it's easier to read the left-hander's delivery or his move to first base, sometimes righties.
Slice foul, kind of an emergency swing by Smith.
That time Beckham is going back to the bag as Coulomb came up with his set position.
Beckham has 4 steals in 5 attempts. Inches out a little further at first base, and now they're going to have him picked off. Alonso runs at him. Hinder runs it back toward first. Coulomb on the tag, and that will do it. So Rasmus, the home run, his 9th of the year. And as we move on to the 7th inning, it's the A's 4 and the Rays 4.
At first we were wondering when he's going to run. Well, he got caught off first, and a nice rundown ensued. A 1-3-6 to the pitcher, Coulomb. 1-3-6-1, it looks like, on the put out, running back as far as you can. So there you are, with Coulomb getting involved in the rundown. Nice play by Daniel Coulomb, as he was either instructed or saw him take off and decided to go to first base. But the Rays tied it.
Chris Archer back to work. He's thrown 101 pitches. Archer is a workhorse. Since June of 2013, he has made the most starts in the major leagues. And he has thrown now at least 100 pitches in 23 consecutive starts.
Yeah.
It's nice to see.
Love that. So he comes out of spring training ready to go. He's usually the opening day starter.
The most he has thrown this year is 114. He's done that twice.
I still remember, Kay, when Bruce Bochy had Tim Lincecum make 138 pitches in a game. And I remember his comment after he said if he's going to win a Cy Young Award, he has to pitch deep in the game, complete games, because he pitched no hitters. But, you know, and you don't like to see it because you're always wondering, well, you hope he pitches well after he makes a start with that many pitches,
But you never know if he doesn't pitch well after that.
Yeah.
You still don't know what the reason was.
exactly. Yeah, it could have been just
Had a bad day.
Just like last year, had a great game against the A's, and the next start against the same team, had a horrible start. So he was the same pitcher, but different results.
So 3-2 now to Matt Joyce trying to get aboard. Davis will be next, and then Brugman. A's bullpen is quiet. Ray's bullpen is just now active. Pitch is high on 3-2, and he walked him. So the A's get the leadoff man aboard.
That is Whitney, the right-hander.
Center
Saw
fielder.
him yesterday, among others.
So third walk by Archer. And Rajai Davis taking a long look down at Chip Hale. Could Raj be bunting?
Well, the two previous walks, both to Alonso, have scored in this game. He's a little bit better this month of having the walks come around to score. You got to get them first, get them on base, and then get them in.
Joyce runs, and the ball's bunted foul. Good strikeout note on Archer. Strikeout leaders in the majors since 2015. He's got more than Kershaw. He's got a few more innings than Kershaw.
That rotation probably win you a World Series. Huh?
Well, it should. Who are you going to go with, though? I mean, you got to. I guess Kershaw's got to be your guy, your opening day starter.
Yeah.
Although that, if you did that, that'll make Chris Sale mad, and you know how he is with it.
Yeah, or even Max Scherzer. Of course, Scherzer come out of the bullpen too, as we saw in Detroit. You know, watching Rajai attempt to bunt, Matt Joyce run.
That seem off to you?
Seemed like somebody missed a sign.
Seemed a little off.
You know, because you normally don't see. Although I think it's a pretty good play, that if you have the runner bunting, but you're fearful that the hitter bunts the ball in the air and it turns out to be a double play. But yeah, just a little bit surprising. Of course, with Rajai, as we talk to guys who are bunting with a lot of speed, you have to concentrate on them.
Is they not showing bunt? So the count 2-1. Rajai has fouled out to right and grounded to second. So he's hit a couple balls to the right side. This time he shows bunt, and he's got to pull back out of the way. He ends up bunting it foul. That one was up and in.
And you know, from a pitcher standpoint, that's what you're supposed to do. Throw at the hitter, become defensive, try to get out, tough to bunt, recoil in the way he did. It's kind of difficult to put the ball in play.
So 2-2 the count. Rays with 6 hits in the game. The Rays with 9. The Rays have made the only error in the game. Joyce inches off. Decent lead. And that one is rolled foul.
And that was a ball, but too close, and Rajai is trying to get on track.
So 112 pitches now for Chris Archer.
114 season high.
Again, bounce foul. This one right past Brugman in the on-deck circle.
But to your point, you get a pitcher that go over 100 that many consecutive starts. That's impressive. And it really doesn't look like he's lost anything.
Outfield shifted toward right center. And there's a base hit left field. So what an at-bat by Rajai Davis, and he ends it with a sharp single to left. So Kevin Cash is coming out.
Well, he stayed down low with a pretty good slider, but Rajai Davis went down and raked it into left field. And that's a great at-bat for Rajai Davis.
So bullpen time for the Rays for the first time today. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts.
California is brought to you by Black Bear Diner. Feed your inner bear.
So we got a good game today. 4-4 A's and the Rays, and the A's threatening here in the 7th. They've knocked Chris Archer out. 6+ innings and 114 pitches for Archer. So here is Brugman. He's going to face the new pitcher, who is Chase Whitley. 1-1, 3.16 ERA for Whitley. See if Brugman decides to bunt. Corner infielders think that he will. He's swinging away, and the first pitch is a strike. Brugman has struck out twice, and he has a base hit. He tried to stretch a single into a double in the 5th inning and was thrown out at second base. So 1 for 3. 13 in the series.
This is credit to the young man that he put the ball in play. Good speed. Maybe try to stay out of a double play, and with the corner infielders in, start looking at the on-deck circle. You get righty on the righty pender.
Swing and a miss. Changeup, 84 miles an hour. Brugman was way out in front.
Yeah, he pulled off of it badly, and just stay on now with 2 strikes. Just think solid up the middle, the opposite field. Pull the string nicely.
Derek Norris fixing his mask. That's not something that you want to have break.
Had it happen one time. Wasn't fun.
Oh my gosh.
Pitcher's end of the stretch, runner first base. The pitch is on his way, and the mask fell straight off my face. Scared me to death. Fortunately, the hitter fouled it. I don't know what happened. If he fouled it straight back, I'm dead.
1-2 pitch. Hit hard. Beckham has it. Dives for the bag. Cannot quite get there in time. Brugman hit it hard. Right at Beckham.
Well, that ball slicing right back into Beckham. Otherwise, it's a single up the middle. Heading back to second base. See if his knee gets him somewhere. Now see, Beckham went for the tag instead of the bag. He goes for the bag, keeps his feet, gets there quicker. Joyce read it perfectly, gets back.
Close play.
Yeah, they're going to check on him, but bottom line, if Beckham, I don't know why he was trying, maybe he thought it was quicker to try to tag him, but if he goes for the bag, then it eliminates all the possibility of a problem.
Jeff Collins, assistant athletic trainer for the A's. So it looks like everybody's going to be okay.
Jeff's got a nice trot. Good trot coming off the field. That's important.
Good game face.
Yeah, as a trainer, you know, it's a full beard. But Matt Joyce said, "I'm okay." Good heads-up base running. Could have been a bad double play for the A's.
So here's Pinder. First pitch to Pinder. Lofted to shallow left. Rasmus is going to get there, and he's got it. So 2 outs, and now it's up to Lowry to come through, and he's done that a lot for the A's. He's had 2 on, nobody out.
Number 8, Jake Lowry.
Lowry is 1 for 3 today. He tripled and scored in the 6th. He's 5 for 13 with 4 runs scored in the series. He's got 3 doubles, 1 triple, and 1 single in the series. First pitch, center field. Smith is going to get there, and he makes the catch. Lowry hit it right on the nose. On a line drive out, the A's strand a pair. 7th inning stretch coming up. It's a 4-4 game.
Sports California is brought to you by the 2017 Jeep Cherokee with an EPA estimated 30 highway miles per gallon. By Southwest, yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. By Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. By AAA, what does your insurance do when it's not doing insurance? It should do more. Go to AAA.com for more details. And by the all-new 2017 Chrysler Pacifica.
So 4-4 game, A's and the Rays. It's the bottom of the 7th from Tropicana Field. It's get to our true stories brought to you by McDonald's. On May 15th of last year, right here in this ballpark, it was getaway day, and Danny Valencia put on a power show. He hit 3 home runs, including a 2-run shot in the top of the 9th inning, and that helped the A's take the final game of the series in dramatic fashion. And here it was. With Danny Valencia, a 3-homer game. So 3 homer games in Oakland A's history. Again, that's since 2000. Chris Davis last year, Valencia last year. Josh Reddick did it in Toronto in 2013, and then Durazo and Tejada. Danny Valencia, after a slow start with the Mariners, has been hitting much better. The Mariners playing very well as of late. So bottom of the 7th inning. Alex Smith, who was up when Beckham got picked off first, will hit again against Daniel Coulomb. Pulls the bat back. He did that in time. So 1-0 to count. Smith, Dickerson, and Longoria. Getting ready for Longoria. Healy well in at third, as is Alonso. Bends Malik Smith out of the way. 2-0.
Now the A's had first and second, nobody out, didn't score. This is, I think, comparable to a shutdown inning for a pitcher. If club doesn't score, and then maybe short-lived for Daniel Coulomb. But it's still very important, especially now with Sean Doolittle active.
It's a strike.
A high strike on the inside corner, but Corey Blader's strike zone has been pretty pitcher friendly all day.
Malone's going to have to hurry. Alonso's not there. Nobody's there. And the ball's thrown down the right field line, and this is not good, folks. Smith rounds second. Smith is going to go for third, and he'll make it sliding, make it standing up as he puts the brakes on, and he's got to dive back. And that's the go-ahead run at third with nobody out.
Well, as we have always said, you put the ball down on the bunt, some things can happen. They're both in, went for it, and Jen Lowry could not get to the bag quickly enough, and Coulomb came up, assuming somebody was there. He threw right over the bag, but nobody was there. So a base hit on the bunt. Daniel Coulomb got it, but he did not know that charging also was Yonder Alonso with the ball down in the corner with a foul territory. Off to the races goes the young speedster.
So it's a single and an air. It's a single E1, and that's air number 62 for the Athletics. Infield comes in. Here's Dickerson. First pitch to Dickerson. He's driven to right. That's hit well. Joyce going back. Joyce reaches up to make the catch. Smith tags. He's going to trot home. And the Rays have a 5-4 lead. Dickerson gets his 30th RBI. Bob Melvin's coming out. He's going to take the ball from Coulomb. So Axford's coming in when it's time for change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts.
14th for our annual Bark at the Park event. It's presented by Aviderm Natural and Nylabone. Free samples for dogs, a pregame pet parade, and so much more. Purchase your special ticket for this event right now. Space is limited, so act quickly. For information and tickets, visit athletics.com/bark to register today.
So here's Axford to face Longoria. Rays have taken the lead here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Costly throwing error by Coulombe.
Well, it was a costly mistake by Souza. Allowed the A's take the lead, and
seen a few mistakes today.
And so it turned the favor on the A's. But you know, when Daniel Coulombe caught the ball and he spun, at that point, probably thought it was too late to try to hold up and look, double clutch. But in hindsight, that would have been the best thing, especially. At times, it's nice to know where your infielder's in, because Alonso was even with the bag and charging. That's made the play, because if he's back, he was anticipating a bunt and playing even and charging, and that opened up first base, because at that point, nobody could get there.
That's Jumbo Diaz.
Hey, Jumbo.
Slides to his left. That's 5-3 in the put out.
Well, check where Alonso comes charging in as Coulombe gets the ball. Really not a particularly great bunt, handled nicely by Coulombe. Charging was Alonso. He got out of the way thinking that Lowry's going to be there, and he wasn't. And it's a long run for him because he was playing in his normal position. It's not like it was anticipating a sacrifice where he would be moving and getting to first base. Coulombe threw right over the bag, but nobody was there.
So 2 away for Logan Morrison. Morrison is 1 for 3, doubled in the 5th. Axford pumps in first pitch strike.
It is amazing. 2 mistakes, one by each team, allows a runner get to third instead of just first, and turns out to be huge. Souza did not get an error. Coulombe did.
Tapped foul. So 0-2 to Morrison. Morrison in this series, 3 for 13. Big shift on for Morrison. Astros leading the Angels 6-3 in the top of the 5th inning. The Angels had a 3-0 lead going to the bottom of the 3rd, but the Astros scored 2 in the bottom of the 3rd. They scored 4 in the bottom of the 4th. So Astros now lead that game against 6-3, 5th inning, rubber game of that series.
I think if the Astros ever get down in the game, they get concerned at this point. When you've won
that would be a no.
44 games.
So 2-2 the count. That's Pinder. Here's the shortstop, but he was shifted over. So Morrison's out, but a run for the Rays. So as we go to the bottom to make that the top of the 8th inning, Chris Davis is going to lead it off.
A family-friendly fireworks a day early with the A's. The biggest and best fireworks show in Northern California is presented by MLB. The show only on PlayStation. And we'll follow the A's and the White Sox game on July the 3rd. Plus, you can enjoy this free fireworks show right on the field. For tickets, visit athletics.com/happy. That's athletics.com/happy. HAPPY. There's Kempy. He's happy. Kempy could play number 19. Or as you're reading the book, number 17 is a prominent figure in the Jason Turbo book. Better known as Mike Andrews.
Mike, oh, yeah.
You haven't got to that part yet, have you?
Yeah, I have.
Have you?
Still feel bad for that guy.
Yeah, I know. I agree.
That was not a nice move by Charlie Finley. How serious were you guys about not playing the World Series game? That one's going to get through in the center field as Chris Davis goes after the first pitch from the new pitcher, Jumbo Diaz. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts, just brought up from the minor leagues. Diaz has been in the big leagues this year. So 3 losses, a 5.49 ERA, lots of base runners, 21 hits and 12 walks in 19 innings.
To answer your question, I didn't know.
Oh, really?
Because I was not in the core group of guys that were deciding that. I found out later after listening to Raleigh and Joe Rudy and Hence Holtzman, but I was in there when Dick Williams announced that he was retiring, which was a shock to everybody. But that they were serious. I guess I would have found out later, but he was reinstated, Mike Andrews, and the World Series went on. But I think the boys were serious about boycotting.
0-1 to Yonder Alonso. I said Jumbo Diaz just up from the minor leagues. That's not correct. He's just off the disabled list. So Diaz back from the DL.
Now, he's a big young man, but he throws hard, as that 96-mile-an-hour fastball just indicated. Had a good slider, the hanger that was hit by Chris Davis, sending it to right center against the shift.
The 2 pitch, just a little bit outside, went with an off-speed pitch. After Alonso, Healy, and then Vogt. Another off-speed pitch at 89 miles an hour. So 1-2 the count. Defense plays Alonso straight away with the runner aboard. And this one's popped up behind third. Rasmus coming in, and Rasmus has it.
Well, that's a stinky fastball that the big man's showing, and that's why Yonder Alonso a little bit late. And he's been going to the opposite field with line drives. That one just got under a little too much.
Number 25, Ryan Hamer.
So here's Healy. Healy today is 1 for 3. He singled and scored back in the 2nd inning. So the A's looking for a big hit against Jumbo Diaz. Diaz was picked up by the Rays, claimed off waivers from the Cincinnati Reds during spring training, 10th of March.
Did you hear what I just heard?
What's that?
Thunder.
Really?
Yeah, I see the opening in the left center field. You can see.
Yeah, you can see outside.
See, it's a little bit overcast. Been that way. I just heard some thunder, unless somebody's rolling something on the roof. But I think it was thunder. You never know indoors. It could be pouring down rain. They said it poured yesterday, but we would never know.
Healy hooks one foul.
That would have been a good one to stay fair because it was the breaking ball that stayed inside. Healy just a little too quick.
Could be raining out there. It does rain in these parts. 1-2 to Healy. He has kicks and fires, and it's popped up. Morrison near the seats, and he caught it. That's not an easy play.
Now with your back to the infield, and you knew he was approaching the sidewall. Probably this time last year he drops the ball, but that's the kind of year he's having this year, and that's why it's so different. And remarkable comeback for Logan Morrison. High fastball that got under it. Morrison back to the infield the whole way, watching the ball, keeping his eye, which you have to do on the roof, and reached up and caught it right at the edge. See, Robertson had to tell him there's a run at first base because he kind of casually turned around and almost like he forgot there was a runner at first.
So with 2 outs here, Stephen Vogt. First pitch to Vogt. Slider outside corner first time. Vogt has had a good ball game. A single, a double, a ground out. He's knocked in 3 runs. So maybe a little hot streak starting for Stephen Vogt. That would be a good thing.
Home run Friday, pitched it yesterday. Catching the day with 3 ribbies, so good day for him.
He's 3 for 9 in the series. And his major league debut with these Rays back in 2012. And that's in. Get things going out in the A's bullpen. Davis led off this inning with a base hit, still at first. Swinging at 98 miles an hour. Diaz, 6'4", 280 pounds.
And the fastball riding it up a little bit, a little bit of a leg kick.
That's the closer, Alex Colomé. If Colomé's up throwing, Cash probably would use him if he needed a 4-out save.
Yeah, and Stephen Vogt can keep the inning going. He might bring him in to face Joyce. You never know. Joyce and Rajay Davis after Stephen Vogt.
Davis runs, the pitch is low, and they'll let Davis have a stolen base.
Well, that's an easy 90 feet, and it could be big if Stephen Vogt can really stay hot for the day. Uncontested, high leg kick. Chris or Eric Norris just let it go.
2-2. Got him swinging with a high fastball at 97 miles an hour. So the A's strand the tying run at second base. Bottom of the 8th coming up. Rays 5, A's 4.
Oakland Athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
Game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Here are the numbers: 4-8-1 for the A's, 5-10-1 for the Rays. So a bit of shaky defense really on both teams, and it has led to some runs. Jesse Hahn, 3 earned runs in 5 innings. Votes knocked in 3. Davis with a couple of hits. Archer 8 strikeouts in 6 innings. Malik Smith, man, has he been tough on the A's. To say Malik Smith has been disruptive in this series would be an understatement.
That's a great description.
Today, Smith walked, single, double, single, 2-run score. This is Steven Souza Jr., who is 0 for 3 with a strikeout and a couple of groundouts. There's Malik Smith. We've been impressed with the young man.
Got a lot to
the Rays have high hopes for him.
A lot to live up to if you compare to Carl Crawford, because Crawford, I want to say, for about 4 or 5 consecutive years, increased his batting average, all the totals every year. Just got better and better to the point of priced himself off the club to Boston, Los Angeles, and out of baseball.
Well, if you think about the Rays moving ahead, Kiermaier's got a 6-year contract extension. He's going to play center field.
Right.
Souza, they're very high on him. He's a younger player. He's going to stay in right field. So you wonder if the spot for Malik Smith is left field. Probably is.
Yeah, if all that plays out, like you said, which it probably will, then Rasmus here 1 year. 1 year.
Exactly. Yeah. And Kiermaier's one of the best center fielders in all of baseball.
You put those 3 in the outfield, they're going to cover a lot of ground.
Yeah, that's a good outfield.
Yeah. And you could bet Kiermaier or Smith lead off. Like the Angels did many years, have one lead off, 1 hit ninth.
Souza strikes out, so he's 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts today. 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Axford with a good fastball. He's got a good one. That one, 97, the outside corner. Paul Bunyan got upset.
He is. Speaking of Paul Bunyan,
Giancarlo Stanton.
or Aaron Judge. Well, we just, guys in the truck tell us that Aaron Judge homered today. It was his 20th of the year. And
all rise.
The ball is still rising. It was estimated distance of 496 feet. 496 for Aaron Judge.
We're going to Miami to see Giancarlo Stanton. I think that would be a great duo of the home run derby in Miami.
Nobody else.
Yeah,
just those two. I'm telling you.
Time now for the Jeep Drive of the game. This was a big one. The A's had a 1-run lead, a high fastball, and Tony Rasmus, who hurt the A's as a member of the Houston Astros down at Minute Maid Park, does it again here this afternoon as it tied the game. And unfortunate miscue last inning helped the Rays take the lead with an unearned run, but still the lead nonetheless. As they await Alex Coleman in the 9th inning.
Well, it's the joy of being a home run hitting team. You can change the game quickly.
Yeah.
Rays, the 3rd highest scoring team in the American League. So they do more than just hit home runs. But getting back to Aaron Judge, and everybody talks about his home runs and the distance of his home runs, and for good reason, but he's hitting 341.
Yeah, that is amazing.
And we saw him, and the word, remember last year he struck out a lot. Everybody said, man, if we're afraid he's going to strike out a lot. And he will strike out some, but when we saw him, it looked like he had a pretty good idea at the plate.
Yes. And he really didn't try to go after the ball. He let it come to him. Exactly. And when you're 6'7", 270 to 80 pounds, you're strong enough you can do that.
He was not a free swinger, I guess is what I'm
you're right. And that's a great point, because he did cut down his swing. Stride is not as long. you have power like he does, he doesn't have to pull the ball, as he showed in New York against the A's.
That's a base hit to center field. So Rasmus is 2 for 4.
See, all these pitches that the Rays are hitting are all up, and that's what's hurting them. This location from Axford for Rasmus, up. That's belt high, and that's a very hittable pitch. And Rasmus, as he showed with his home run going to center field, he's not going to try to pull the balls unless they're down and in. 3-2, you challenge, but it's got to be down.
So here's Beckham. And speaking of those Marlins, they lost today. They're in Pittsburgh. They lost 3-1. You'll see the Marlins Tuesday night. Miami 27-35 now, so they have, with their loss today, and the A's game not finished yet, they have the exact same record as the Athletics right now.
First game yesterday, the A's did not allow the Rays to pick up an extra run in the 8th inning, and against Coulombe. Coulombe tied the game in the 9th inning. Lost it in 10, but they did get to the closer with back-to-back doubles. Important now, again, he take it just the 1-run deficit into the 9th inning. See what can happen with Coulombe.
Interesting series going on at Wrigley Field, where the Rockies are going for a 4-game sweep of the Cubs.
Hard to believe, isn't it?
That is hard to believe. They have outscored the Cubs 18-5 in the first 3 games of that series. So that's one of those series, if you're the Rockies, where you can show people that you are indeed for real. Runner goes, the ball's rolling foul.
And as the season approaches the midway mark and they're still doing what they're doing, a lot of people are taking notice.
Oh, there's no question.
Yeah.
The Rockies have won 7 in a row. Best record in the National League, and I don't think there's any question that they're for real.
And the fact that they're doing it at Wrigley Field, forget about Coors Field, because they can do it on the road.
Exactly.
And they do that. Everybody talks about one-dimensional team, but Nolan Arenado.
Yeah, they're not one-dimensional anymore.
No.
Cubs are winning today 4-3 early in that game. Oh, 0-2 to Beckham. Beckham's 2 for 3 again today. Not this time, though, as he chases the pitch way out of the strike zone. 2 away here in the 8th.
Another hard-breaking slider from John Axford, and that's a chase. If you get a couple of strikes on a hitter, try to get into the chase. That's what Axford did with this pitch. It just kept running away out of the strike zone, and you wonder, how do hitters do this? Well, easier said than done, because to try to hold up on the pitch like that when it looks like a strike.
So here's Norris, who's 0 for 3. We're chuckling here. The reason why we're chuckling is, I was going to say about a half inning ago when you were talking about the rain, I said, well, there's times where we're in here where you can hear the rain.
Well, you can hear it.
And right now is one of those times, as it is really pouring, and you can hear it banging against the rooftop here at Tropicana Field. So.
Thanks for that shot, guys, because it's always good to see what we're hearing. And we're hearing some heavy downpour. I think the people in the Bay Area East are saying enough is enough.
Well, it does this a lot. It'll rain very hard for a short period of time.
Just think these people, 13,000 of them, are going to be exiting, trying to go to their cars, and they're hearing what's going on, and maybe they'll decide to stay a little while, run around the bases or something.
Pitches off the plate. 1-1 to Norris.
If you could hear it raining through the headsets, that's hard. Yeah, I know.
In the top of the 9th inning, the A's will have Joyce, Davis, Brugman against Alex Colomé, who the A's were able to tie the game against him yesterday in game 1 of the doubleheader. Morse hits it hard. Pinder, nice play, spins around. His throw to first is dug out by Yonder Alonso. Nicely done on both ends. 6-3 on the putout, and the 9th inning is coming up. A's got some work to do against Colomé. Post Game Live presented by State Farm. Coes, Bip, and Super Joe Stiglitz are standing by in the studio.
Do you think Matt Joyce could leave Tropicana Field Dome on a positive note as a member of the Athletics now, formerly with the Rays, to face his former teammate Alex Colomé, who's coming in to try to close it out? Matt Joyce taking deep. What a story that would be. Tie this game in the 9th inning.
All right, when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair expert. So here's Colomé and Joyce. Rajai Davis will be next. Shift is on for Joyce. The first pitch is grounded right to Robertson. Robertson, outfield grass, throws out Matt Joyce, and that's out number 1 here in the top of the 9th inning.
Well, that didn't work.
Your idea was good. 1 pitch,
1 out. Pinch hitter Matt Olson for Rajai. You know this needs to go to extra innings because all these fans are hoping they don't have to go out in the rain because it is pouring.
Number 28, Matt Olson.
And there go the folks trying to go to the cars quickly. Do they have an umbrella giveaway days here? I mean, it's a good giveaway.
Maybe they got him standing by the door. So here's Olson. He's hoping that the big fella can run into one. Olson hitting for Davis. Brugman will be next. Outside. Also with Olson, obviously you're thinking, oh, home run, but he also has a very good eye and walks a lot. So hey, you can get the tying run on base. Not a home run, but
that's why you don't like to be upset if a hitter swings at a first pitch. But excuse me while I listen to the thunder.
You made somebody mad.
But you know, if a pitcher, you're down by 1, you need base runners. You need a base runner, and Matt Joyce swinging on the first pitch, which helped Colomé. Now he can't throw a strike. The first 3 to Olson.
That's Josh Smith getting loose. He's the only A's reliever that has not pitched in this series. 3-0 to Olson. That one is right down the middle at 95 miles an hour.
See if he takes another one, Cap. I mean, he knows he needs to get on base. One away. Fastball away.
And the fastball a little bit low. He may have swung at ball 4.
Yes, he did.
I think he knows it. So a full count to Matt Olson.
Now he's asking, and Corey Blazer confirmed what we thought, and that really confirms it. And you know, on one hand, 3-1, knows he's going to get a fastball and expand a little bit, but he likes to expand with the pitch up a little bit and then unload on one. Has the home run power.
And then a shot foul. It's another fastball.
And that's the one that's up in the zone to gear up for.
Archer for 6+, Whitley an inning, Diaz an inning, and now Colomé. For the A's, it's been Hahn, Hendricks, Coulombe, and Axford. Pitch, and he just got a piece of it. Popped in and out of the glove of Derek Norris.
That was a pretty good pitch if he did not swing at it. Fortunately, just deflected it enough off the center of the catcher's mitt and off the edge as Dino closed the mitt but could not hang on as the thunder came down hard.
Another 3-2 pitch. Here it is, and it's low, and he walked him. Good at bat for Matt Olson.
What a breaky ball, Kai. Adam Rosales is going to run for Olson. Get a little speed. I think it was Melky Cabrera playing here. That just as the pitch was made, there was a lightning thunderbolt. It scared him to death. He jumped out, and of course, with a closed stadium. But Olson, with a walk, gets the A's a runner at first base, and now the outfield has to play real deep, and that's what Sousa's doing in right field. So Adam Rosales showing some speed, see if he can help the A's do something to tie this game. If top of the batting order, Brugman can do something.
Brugman is 1 for 4. He singled in the 5th. A couple of strikeouts in the 7th inning.
Ball got away from
down to the shortstop.
I think that was Casilla unloaded one that came down towards home plate.
Casilla just lightly throwing out in the bullpen. Wants to be ready. The A's take the lead. Side to Brugman at 94 miles an hour.
Most hitters in these situations realize that if they get a pitch to hit, it's going to be outside, because a catcher usually does not want a fastball in the inner part of the plate for a hitter to go the shortest distance to put one in the seats. So see if Brugman looks for the fastball outside as he just got a first one off the plate.
Missed again. Now it's 2-0. Crowd of 13,640. Murmuring just a little bit.
Actually murmuring about the rain.
That's probably true.
It's coming down hard. But murmuring also because a walk. And now Brugman trying to keep it going.
2-0. And the pitch. Foul back. Came right at him with a fastball. It was a little up and a little in.
Well, you look outside. Here comes a pitch in. You decide I'm going to swing, and actually, I think he has to be happy that it was fouled back. Did not do much with it. Kind of a defensive swing, even 2-0.
Last 2 appearances versus the A's, last year and this year. 2 blown saves. Rosales, the runner at first, and that's a strike outside corner. So now the count is even at 2-2. Let's see where it was.
That's as perfect a strike as you could throw.
Two to Brugman. Pinder is the on-deck hitter. Big gap in right center field. Swing and a foul tip. Rolls behind the catcher and the umpire, and the count remains 2-2.
Breaking ball again, and just hitting down on the ball, staying alive was Brugman. Mike Olson asked Corey Blazer for a strike.
Pitch fouled into the upper deck. See Brugman kind of protected.
Yeah.
Don't want to get called out.
Now we talked about some of the younger players coming up, Brugman of course included. This is all a good experience. I don't care what you say, as long as you can handle some of the things you go through. I mean, this is a tremendous experience for a young player. Tight game, family watching on.
2-2 pitch is hit into center field, a base hit. Rosales will go to second. He'll stop there.
We're soft again.
Rosales had to hold up just to make sure the ball got through, as Robertson made an effort at it, and you can't get doubled off if he were to catch it. So Rosales to second.
Well, he's making the game. Well, he fouled off some tough pitches. Off speed changeup outside, and he raked it up the middle. Very strong young man. Rosie making sure the ball went through before he headed towards second base as the line drive. He's already been caught off once this year. So Brugman, 3 consecutive games, multi-hit games after 0 for 4 on Friday night. And seeing what another young player can do in Chad Pinder.
First pitch to Pinder. There's a strike. Looked like a slider that didn't slide. Good time for Pinder to pick up his first hit. 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts. Pretty good speed on the bases. Big hole on the right side of the infield with Robertson trying to keep Rosales close at second base.
Let's go. Don't play.
Pinder chased it. And now it's 0-2.
In fact, as far as Rasmus is off the line in left field, if he can ever hook one down the left field line, the A's might take the lead. This slider way off the plate, no chance to do anything with it. But Rasmus playing like he's at Houston Minibate as they play well off the line there, but they're shading Pinder towards right field anyway. Smith in center and also Souza in right field. Got to go back to another slider after that swing. And Pinder very upright in a swing. Just those low pitches he's got to be able to recognize, and out of the strike zone he's got to take.
Blocked nicely by Norris.
That is a big block.
A big block.
Absolutely. That's second and third, 1 out versus first and second, and moved in front, used his chest protector. Time tar. Whatever it takes.
May have helped.
You know, only one Yadier Molina can have a ball stick to his chest protector. Maybe that's too much pine tar.
1-2 pitch. Base hit left field. Rasmus over to cut it off, and they're going to have a hold up Rosales. And now the bases are loaded with 1 out for Lowry. So the A's are doing it again to Colomé.
Well, the amazing thing about Adam Rosales, you remember earlier when he got doubled off second base on line drive. And granted, he's had some tough chances here because A's are down a run. Hanging breaking ball again after the changeup by Brugman. So Rosie had to make sure the ball got through. Rasmus throws well. He's down by a run. And of course, Chip would have loved to send him, but Rosie stopped because it was a line drive in front of him. Nothing he could do.
Nope.
I mean, you definitely don't want to get doubled off. So now the infield kind of halfway. And all the old rule about being able to take out a guy at second, this would have been the perfect time, but under the new rules, no way. But the A's have the man they want up.
Lowry is 1 for 4. His pitch is high, not close. A's are 0 for 4 with the bases loaded in this series, and it has not been a good situation for the A's, hitting 163.
Because we still remember the old 1-2-3 double play. This is Pruitt. He picked up the win yesterday in the first game after the blown save by Colomé.
Missed again high, 95 miles an hour. And now Lowry is in the driver's seat. 2-0 the count. So he can take that deep breath and look for one spot.
Well, he has to do exactly that, Kate. Look at the one spot, middle of the plate. Joyce, 1 pitch, 1 out to start the inning. Since then, a walk, a Brugman base hit on a changeup, a Pinder base hit on a curveball. That was after the other rookie, Olsen, walked. So the 3 kids have done their job in this inning.
The count. Here's the pitch. And a half swing and run around, 2-1.
Well, outside corner, was it a strike?
Yep.
It was, but not that one that you zone in for because it was away and it was a pitcher's pitch. Tip your hat, give it to him if it's called a strike.
Salas, Brugman, Pinder are your base runners. Low strike. Lowry can't believe it.
Corey Glazer's done it pretty much all day, so the guys on the bench can see the height of it, and we'll take a look at it with pitch cast. Lower part of the strike zone. And the old saying, don't take it again, too close to take.
So now the count even at 2-2. This one is popped up. Longoria over. So 2 outs. And now it's going to be up to Chris Davis.
And you see how disappointed Jed was. He snapped his bat. Slammed it into the ground, but wow. Well, kind of unlike the last at bat for Chris Davis against Jumbo Diaz, the second baseman Robertson playing him straight up. If he'd been playing there in the last inning, he would have caught the ball. And with Colomé and seeing Chris Davis hit it a little bit more to the right side, at least right now, they're playing him straight up. Rasmus very shallow in left field.
First pitch took a little off, and it drops in there for a strike. So he gets ahead with an off-speed pitch, which is always a nice advantage for a pitcher. Though it's 0-1. 27th pitch coming up from Colomé. Here it is. Swing and a miss, 0-2, 95 miles an hour. So he elevated that fastball just enough to make it look attractive for Davis.
Well, and what he's going to do right now, Kai, after that pitch, he's going to go slider, something hard away, and hope that his catcher, Derek Norris, can block it and try to get Chris Davis to chase a pitch out of the strike zone.
Colomé's ready, 0-2. Got him swinging, and that's the ball game. So the A's leave the bases loaded. In the top of the 9th inning, they had a shot to get to Colomé again, but they just could not come up with the big hit, and this is the final strike.
Yeah,
it's a good one.
It's a very good one, and just too bad to have the opportunities like that. And boy, that graphic we showed 0 for 4, the bases loaded, and hoping it would have at least one in there, but did not happen.
So maybe Colomé saved his best 3 pitches for his last 3 pitches as he strikes out Chris Davis. 3 hours and 26 minutes. The attendance was 13,640. 5-4, the Rays beat the A's. That's your final score. A's Postgame Live presented by State Farm is set to go. Coes, Biff, and Joe, take it away.